Test. Neat. Hello, people. Had a had a very long night last night. We did. For anyone that was here for that, I was I mean it was interesting and fun, but it was also not gonna be doing that again. 'Cause that's gonna people were surprised. I don't know. It's fine if I know the results, but I did see on Twitter that Heroes Hearth beat um Tempest. What happened last night? Stayed up until 9 a.m. just talking to Twitch chat. Because the analysis was done at 2 a.m., so it was just 7 hours of me talking to Twitch chat about random stuff about HOTS. Yeah, you can watch the VOD. It's a long one. Probably will not upload the entire thing to YouTube, but maybe I will. I don't know. I mean, the only reason to expect Genji to lose to Miracle, I mean, you can't know for sure, but Genji did drop a game to Liquid, whereas Miracle didn't drop a game before today. Got back from Burbank last night. Okay. Yep. Well, today you're gonna have a lot more time because there's only 4 matches today. Which again, this is so weird. Why are there so many matches that are crammed into Thursday, Friday, and then on Sunday there's 4 matches total? It's really strange. Don't know what the point is of that. When like, there's no rush to finish the matches today, so that teams have time to prepare. It's not like the playoffs start tomorrow or 2 days from now or something. Miracle beat Genji both times. Okay. Yeah, when Genji lost to Liquid, they were... I mean, Liquid played the team fights well, but Genji just didn't do anything. Genji played the early game well, and then just sat there and lost every team fight with a way stronger comp. And then took bad talents, Rich inted one time, which threw them a 2-level lead plus boss. There was a lot of stuff that went wrong in that game for Genji. Trolling an opening week, yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't need to take the group stage super serious. You just don't. Teams are not showing their full strength in the group stage. 100%. But yeah, that is true. They should not be putting themselves at risk and forcing themselves to have to 2-0 Miracle. That kind of a situation is just not great. Because then if you do that, you play a sloppy game against Liquid and lose, then suddenly you might be forced to show some strategies that you wanted to hide against Miracle. Or you just end up pressured. Or you even just risk ending up against Dignitas in the semifinals, which is also terrible. You'd rather play the 1 than Tempest? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we'll see how strong Tempest is if they lost to HHE. We'll see how strong they are in the match today. Cause maybe Tempest is just not that great either. Because they did get pretty hard smashed by Dig yesterday. Let me actually go back. I wanna... Because I forgot already what the Dig vs Tempest first game looked like. Oh yeah, it was just a Sergeant Hammer comp. Yeah, I mean, Tempest just couldn't do anything the first game because they were getting Sergeant Hammer. They had a couple of nice plays, and then the second game they got absolutely smashed. Tempest prone to tilt, inconsistent, yeah. I mean, that could be true, for sure. So they still, even though they did lose to Dig, they still looked really solid mechanically, and they still had a lot of good things that they were doing. Whereas when I was watching Heroes Hearth, I saw Ishbu making a lot of mistakes on tank, with either wasting his cooldowns or getting caught out of position, taking bad trades. And then Hami, they're doing some weird stuff where Hami's sometimes on the off lane and McIntyre's on the 4-man. And it's kind of weird. Alright. Yeah, I mean, they could just be tilted after getting smashed yesterday. Alright, so we got a first pick Medivh. Arel Garrosh, and then Stitches Medivh really early, and a Malthael. And there's a Tauron going insanely late. What is this Uther ban? Why are you banning Uther? That's not a real hero. Give away Tauron. Alright, Dig is just gonna Alarak some people. Alarak and Medivh is a terrible matchup. He can always protect your combo. The only positive thing that goes for Alarak is that he can push people away from portals. That's the only thing. But from what I see here, this is a kind of comp where Malthael can almost 1v5 with just Medivh protects behind him. But as we will see, Mind Freak is very heavily outmatched. Ah, but there's Medivh just bailing you out of your mistakes, so what am I talking about? Not fitting in with the rest of the team? Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? He's been with the team for less than a month. It's just a shitty spot they're in after Arthlon left. So this is, both teams went to turret camp first, cleared it relatively same speed, and Dig is forcing health pack with a Irelia rotate here. It's still really fast to collapse on this conveyor belt to the health pack. Mind Freak could still fight this, for sure. Though the big issue for Mind Freak on this point is that Dig can throw them off in 2 or 3 different ways. Garrosh throw, Alarak push, and the Arel. So they're just sacking it. I mean, this was just a good force by Dig, if they're confident that they can control a point like that, which they can. And I mean, this is a similar thing. You don't need Garrosh for this. If you have a Junkrat, you throw down the W in advance, so you have 2 Ws for the point, and you can do a similar thing like that. Because the big thing is the health pack camp is very squishy and does not do very much damage. So you can just kill it, ignore the enemy team, knock them off the point repeatedly, and just pick up the health pack and get out. There's some Tauron map hacks, seeing Jaina and Deckard on the camp. There's a free Malthael kill. Map hacks, they saw 2 heroes here, they saw some heroes in lanes. Hami comfortable in offlane? Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly his hero pool is, but he was fine on stuff like Blaze. It's just kind of weird that they're swapping back and forth. Alright, Malthael's respawned, but now Dig has a level 7 advantage. Malthael's dead again, and that's going to be a Trigalov, and the game's done. That's going to be a 2-level lead. 2-level lead, 2 forts down, 2 health packs, farm the enemy team under their forts. No turret advantage, but this is just such a... It's so easy to snowball. It's just so easy to snowball on this map. What do? You're down 3 levels. Can you take a team fight when you're down 3 levels? You can't. You're never going to win a team fight down 3 levels. I don't know how Malthael is getting ganked when he has a Medivh with Portal Mastery too. Because if Medivh's here, he can almost Portal Mastery all the way down to the Malthael to help him out. Because he's here, Portal Mastery reaches to here, and then the portal goes to here, and Malthael can get to that, maybe. Or just Medivh should be scouting the rotations, because there shouldn't just randomly be 4 heroes showing up bottom to gank Malthael. And if Medivh's stuck soaking a lane while his team's doing camps, then the Malthael shouldn't be walking up and getting killed. He can just sit under his wall. Just sit under your wall. There's no reason not to sit under your wall and not feed, because then you just lose the game in 10 minutes. We're unlocking away from the portal. I mean, why are you just don't even put yourself in position to get ganked. Just don't even do it. You're auto-attacking some minions. Good job. Padding those siege damage stats instead of letting the minions walk into your towers and die anyway. That should be every offlaner's mentality, is I do not need to touch these minions. I can sit on my mount and watch them from experience range. And then I will never die to a gank, and then I will never cost my team the game, because I will not be feeding. That's all you need to do. You do not need to 1v1 them. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to touch minions. You don't need to do anything in the offlane if your team is doing stuff on the other side of the map. Go AFK under your wall. Just do it. That's the offlane. That's what you should be doing. If you know where the entire enemy team is and you have a winning 1v1 matchup, like say Arel versus Arthas, I think that's winning for Arel, then sure, step up and clear the wave fast. But then don't walk up under their wall and hit them, unless you know where the entire enemy team is. If you don't know where the enemy team is, don't do random risky things that have low reward, or no reward. Good job, you walked up and auto-attacked a minion, and you risked dying, and then losing your entire front wall, and your team falling behind by half a level. This comp is a disaster? Yeah, Tracer's not good anymore, and they have a monk. And Dig got an insane team. How did Dig get this comp? Hold on. So Dig just gets Hanzo, and then they also get Tyrande, and they also get Arel. The only thing Dig got denied was Blaze, and they could have taken Blaze instead of Arel. I mean, they have Cocoon Break with 2 heroes. That's fine, but these heroes are just going to be constantly blocked by the tanks, the triple front line, backed up by Tyrande healing, and then Hanzo's going to do whatever he wants. And none of this damage will ever get to the Hanzo or the Tyrande. Now, ever. They have map hacks, they have 3 strong frontline heroes that can stand in front and tank and engage, especially with Tyrande behind them giving cleanse to Thrall, because Thrall otherwise would be vulnerable to a chain CC off Murden Stun, and then they never die. 7-sided strike will always be split damage between these 3 heroes, and there's no way to one-shot anybody. Yeah, and they're trolling the hero assignments too. Oh, look at that, you got map hacked out. Oh, no, you didn't. No, you just... Okay. Did Dig map hack this ever? So Dig is starting in like a 1-3-1 kind of assignment, where they're not sure where Mindfreak's gonna go, but then Hanzo walks up to bait. I think, yeah, they see 2 top and they see 1 here, so they know there's only... if there's... So I guess Dignitas has the read that Mindfreak is looking for them somewhere mid, because Mindfreak does have the strong, like, early game try and kill somebody potential, but then Mindfreak shows 3 heroes in their lanes. So then Dig knows, oh, there can only be 2 heroes here, if they're even here anymore. So he can step up and get a better position to rotate to lanes if Mindfreak decides to show up and push a wall. So then they walk up, and Mindfreak's like, yeah, let's 2v1 this Hanzo, but there's only 2 heroes showing in lane, so now you're dead. Monk has no dashes. You're dead. Root misses, so he's not dead. Oh, now he's dead. That was his jump down. That should be a top camp, maybe. No, they're going bottom to alleviate pressure. Tracer just died? Sure, Tracer's dead. 3 kills to 0. Bottom camp. Top is being defended by Arel. No way to push into that hero. Chain CC? Oh, no, Thrall root up. Alright. It's already a full level lead. Mindfreak is 5-man committing on this, and Dig will be able to defend this easily. Arthas even got swiped. He's an easy target now. Tons of free damage on the Arthas. They aren't even punishing the Anub for burrowing in. All of Mindfreak's damage going on the Immortal while they're getting fought by heroes. Oh, that's a dead Li Ming. Easiest target call of Dignitas' life. Ah, well, it looks like Li Ming's out. It was good kiting through that choke to get the blink over the wall. Good escape. Now Dig, Hanzo solo burn, 4-man defense. What does Mindfreak do? They have Li Ming poke, but that can be blocked. So they have to find some kind of engage on the Tyrande, because nobody else will die. This Thrall is not going to die. Anub has burrow up this entire time. So Dig is tanking with their health bars until it's unsafe to do so. Looks like Mindfreak still win the burn early. Okay. But look at this experience lead. 5 kills to 0. I mean, kills don't strictly matter, but the big thing is Hanzo needs level 7 on this map. Hanzo needs level 7 to be very effective. Whereas Li Ming does not need talents for her poke damage and her damage. Never seen Tracer Monk. Tracer Monk's decent if you can actually dive on a backline, because they can both just target one person and put all their damage on it. It's all targeted damage with those heroes. But the problem is you're into 3 heavy frontliners. Okay, this is just trolling. Even the Hanzo doesn't die, because Tyrande, yeah, She didn't even go cleanse. That's actually a little bit surprising that you don't go cleanse for the murder and stun, but the spell armor is super strong too, because the enemy team's full magic damage. Or, not full, but very heavy magic damage burst. Li Ming's all magic damage, Tracer is, for her burst, she's 2/3 magic damage at least. Even more, 75%. So you just give you press Q twice, your Hanzo has 30 spell armor, and then he's super tanky. And Hanzo isn't supposed to be a super tanky hero, but Tehran's balanced hero, so. There's some map packs, pushing this fort. Almost a 2-level lead. Hanzo's damaging by himself because they have map packs, so Hanzo knows he's safe at all times. Tehran Vision, Hanzo Arrow, 30 spell armor. Put the mark on him because why not? Kill the Tracer, she has no blinks. Nice knockback. Take their night camp while the Immortals are up. I don't really agree with that, but who cares? That didn't get any value, but it doesn't matter because you're just going to run over the enemy team, and the game should end here with this push. Maybe not, their ults are on cooldown. If Mind Freak was a stronger team, they might be able to defend this. Yeah, they do defend this, okay. Okay, Syndragosa. And Hanzo still doesn't even die. What the actual fuck is this hero? Someone explain. The Hanzo gets so caught out of position. Everything goes on him. Tracer Bomb, Syndragosa, Monk dashes in. Every single Tracer cooldown. The only stuff that's blocked is Li Ming cooldowns. There's a Murder on top of him. Arthas is even getting some follow-up on that. And the hero doesn't die. And I mean, sure, you're up some levels. But that's just dumb. Why do I see a Hanzo that's getting 30 spell armor and 25 more armor? So he's literally a tank. This is a tank. This is a tank. Why is this a tank? Because these heroes are broken. That's why this hero's a tank. Yep, I did say map packs. Alright, end the game, please. Thank you. Let's get going to some real games. Some people say that if you say map packs 3 times in the in-game chat, then a Tehran Owl will spawn and go wherever you want it to go. Wolf is probably jerking off the Koreans, as usual. Alright. Real draft. So this is probably going to be a Genji ban. This is Towers. There might be an Abathur ban, actually. And if Abathur's not banned, Heroes Hearth is definitely a team that will pick Abathur very early on. They were picking Abathur on D-Shire, they were picking Abathur on Tomb. They will hunt. This is one of the best Abathur maps. They will pick Abathur on this map. As Dignitas showed, this is a very, well, maybe not, well, it's a very good Abathur map. There are a lot of good Abathur maps. There's a Diablo ban. That threatens a Garrosh first pick. Genji's ban, so Tehran to Garrosh Abathur. I don't know if you want to pick Abathur and give away Tehran Garrosh. That's a bit spooky. But I could honestly expect, if Abathur's up, oh, they just take Abathur. Alright, so I'm expecting a 2-3 Zeratul here. I'm expecting Tehran Garrosh here, and then Heroes Hearth gets Zeratul, and maybe the Haka. And just runs the exact same, or a very similar comp to what Dig has. StarCraft 2 got 70k viewers today. That's pretty good. Tehran to Haka, okay. So Heroes Hearth gets the Garrosh, if they want that. The big thing with the Haka is the Haka can at least mitigate the strength of Abathur being able to split so. Because as we saw, when Dignitas had Abathur with the Dahaka, it was impossible to do anything on the map. Because the Dahaka wins the 1v1 against any other offlaner, he pushes in the wave, he double soaks ahead of them, he cuts off the rotate, he does the top camp, pushes that in, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then you can't even play on the rest of the map because the Dahaka can still dig down. So, whatever offlaner you have, you could have an Aurel, you could have a Blaze, you could have a Malthael, you could literally make up of a super magical hero, like on-release Maiev or something ridiculous like that, and it would still not be able to do anything to the Abathur Dahaka. You would just lose everything on the map because they're so strong together. On this map, because the top lane, the off lane is still a pushing lane that you can threaten to get, that you can get big value out of with the top camp. If there wasn't a camp on the top lane, it would not be as effective, because then you would just let your top lane push in and clear it at the wall, and then you would never lose anything top lane, and then you would come to team fights and have a 5 hero versus 4 and an Abathur, which is still pretty much 5 heroes, but at least you can play the game. Whereas when there's camps pushing in top, first camp loses your entire wall, second camp loses half your fort, third camp your entire fort's gone, and there's nothing your offlaner can do about it. And if you rotate up to defend your offlaner, bottom lane's going to get pushed in, so you just can't do anything. So that's good. But that doesn't mean that Garrosh is here. Garrosh is Zeratul, most likely. Don't think you need to prioritize support here. Especially because BBJ likes Monk, and Monk is pretty decent with Abathur. If this is even... This is also... Might just be a solo support. Abathur, that's also pretty likely, so no reason to pick support here. I do Brack. Alright. Fair enough. But yeah, Zeratul on this map. It's a late game map. Zera's a good clone target. Zera's a good hat target. So just good things. Does Tempest ban out Jaina here? They do have a better support against some kind of VP stuff, where Tyrande actually has burst healing. She actually has... I mean, she can't cleanse a VP. She can't cleanse a Ring of Frost, but she can cleanse the Anub'arak CC, and she can give a ton of spell armor. Instant, press your Q twice, 30 spell armor. Very balanced. Yeah, they do ban Jaina still. Because Dig showed that the big thing with the Jaina is not just that the ring with the VP, but also the early game really compensates for the weakness of the Abathur and Zeratul in the early game, where Dignitas had a Diablo and a Zeratul and an Abathur, and Tempest was not even willing to fight them there. Dig invaded as 4 on a point, and I said I wasn't 100% sure, but I said, if I'm Tempest, knowing the comps and how Dignitas's comp scaled, I would still have taken that fight. It would have been risky, because when your Murden jumps into the point into a Diablo, Jaina, Zeratul, Dahaka, he's probably going to die. But I said, I think Tempest can still win that fight, but they weren't confident in that, and they gave away their own camp, and then suddenly there were no camps on the map, bottom side, because Dig got both of them. So that's a big strength of the Jaina, is she's really strong in the early game, where she just presses WQE, and that's the best burst damage in the game, in the early game. Just is. And then in addition to that, you get the ring combo. In addition to that, she's a good clone target. In addition to that, she's really good at clearing the camps on the map. Either your own camp, invading camp, defending camps, stuff like that. And you can't push into her either, so you can't siege into a Jaina bottom lane to try and punish, especially when you have the Dahaka, and Hero's Hearth will have a real offlaner, either Zeratul or somebody else, top lane. You still can't capitalize on that advantage where you would have an effective 5v4 bottom side and push in with a camp, or push in, invade their camp or something like that, because Jaina just walks up to her own camp, clears it in 3 seconds, and then, unless you're already there, I mean, the camp's done. You can't invade it. And there's a Thrall ban. Okay. So Thrall he's like a bruiser, basically, at this point in the meta, and he's not an offlane. On this map, he's not an offlaner, because you need to be able to double soak as an offlaner, but in the early game, he can sit mid by himself and just clear the mid wave safely. And that's really useful when you're against an Abathur, so that you can free up your 3-man bottom to do more things. Yeah, Jaina's a really good clone target, too. Because, yeah. Raynor Muradin. Kind of surprised not to see Garrosh. Because, let's think, why do they not want Garrosh here? What's wrong with Garrosh? I guess the biggest thing is that Garrosh can't invade early. Where if you want to invade the enemy team's camp, Garrosh has to just walk in, whereas Muradin can jump in and get easier engages. Because if you're a Garrosh and you want to invade early game, you're going to have to be walking into a noob, and he'll just CC you with his Q and block you out of the point. And then maybe he'll even be confident enough to tank your throw, and then burrow it afterwards. So I can see that reason for the Muradin, but otherwise, I don't know. I feel like Garrosh should just be better, because... I don't know. I don't like Muradin. I don't like Muradin. He's not tankier against a VP combo. Like, Muradin can't do anything about some kind of a CC ability out of VP, where he's in a VP with the rest of his team, and then... Not a ring, because that's banned, but even a Anub'arak CC comes out, and the Muradin just stands there and takes it. Whereas a Garrosh can self-unstoppable it, he can ally throw a teammate out, and has a lot more counterplay. So, yeah, Garrosh has the ally save, and, yeah. I don't know what the Muradin's for. Like, it's not even better chain CC with Tyrande or something. Garrosh is better chain CC with Tyrande. And the other thing, too, you're picking a Raynor, and Raynor isn't diving, and you're not diving Hero's Hearth anyway. They already have a Zeratul and a noob. You know Hero's Hearth is diving on you in every fight, because you pick the solid ranged, the safe ranged pick. So your team is going to be trying to play with your front line and then your range doing damage. You're not going to be trying to get some people over on their backline while they get some people over on your backline. That's not what you want as Tempest. Comfortable on Mur? Maybe. I don't know. But I don't think you should be sacrificing the draft for comfort pick. I think that the game the game should have been at the point last year, and the game should definitely be at the point this year, where you should not be sacrificing the draft for comfort, especially on heroes that have been in the meta for so long. So Heroes Hearth needs to figure out a ranged pick. Might be Li Ming. Phoenix is kind of okay. Let me think, actually. What do they want? What's a good ranged hero? Li Ming is like a Jaina light version in the early game, and she's not a good clone, but she's safer against the Murden at least. And her VP follow-up isn't as good. What else could they get? Beetle Blizzard doesn't want to throw beetles. Alrighty then. Hanzo? I don't think Hanzo does anything. Hanzo's really vulnerable to the Muradin because he's most likely not going to have a full support because it's solo support Abathur, most likely. His ultimate will either be blocked or cleansed, and he can't follow up on the dive at all. He can't follow up on a VP at all. Because what should happen is if they do a VP with Hanzo ult combo, Tyrande cleanses it all. Or if the VP is on the Tyrande, then the front line blocks the Hanzo ult. So that should never work. I don't like Hanzo. Greymaine's a good one. Greymaine's pretty good. Still not nearly as good as Jaina, but yeah, that pick does make sense. They won't take it for sure. Why not? Greymaine's fine. No, Li Ming and Illidan. Okay. So, Illidan with Hunt can do a similar thing to what the Dahaka did, and he is going to win the 1v1 against Dahaka. Tempest has the stronger map hacks, but Heroes Hearth does have the weaker map hacks with the Abathur mines. So this is going to allow Illidan to play very aggressive in the offlane against the Dahaka if it's 1v1, and if heroes start rotating up to the offlane, there will be mines to dismount and scout them, so Illidan will be able to back up. Illidan is significantly weaker in the early game though. Very significantly weaker compared to a Dahaka. So Heroes Hearth is never going to fight for their own camp. Unless they can do it really quickly. Whole event for my VODs. Nice. Phoenix pick. With Thrall banned, because this is, again, they need a hero that can sit mid by themselves and soak that. And Thrall is gone, and there's no other hero that can replace Thrall effectively as like a third frontline-ish, bruiser-ish hero. Phoenix can soak the mid wave, but he's going to be a backliner in the fights, and he's actually pretty vulnerable too. I wonder if there's a better pick here than Phoenix. Let me pull up like a hero list. Let me actually launch HOTS, just because that's what I'm used to looking at when I'm looking at a list of heroes. For some reason, I can't think of heroes right now. I feel like this Phoenix should have been something else, but I'm not sure. Because the big issue for Phoenix is going to be that if he gets VP'd, or if he gets hunted, unless you react instantly to the hunt, you're just going to get Chain CC'd. And you have the Tron cleanse, which is pretty good. So maybe it's not that big of an issue. Cassia, nope, she would get one shot. Falstad, probably just worse than Phoenix when you already have your global. Yeah, he's too squishy. Zeratul will just farm him too. Junkrat's too squishy. Yeah, I mean, I guess Phoenix was the only option there. Tychus isn't that great. Yeah, no, Tychus isn't that great. Tychus would be really good for the 13 power spike with his 75 spell armor spell shield, but other than that, he wouldn't be that insane. So yeah, Phoenix is fine. You just drop your ultimate in a team fight and just press your buttons. Uncomfortable choice. Yeah, I mean, Illidan is your second choice when the Hawk is taken away, basically. Because if you pick Blaze, he won't be able to push into the Hawka. He's still too weak, even with a hat. And if you pick Arel, she can push in, but she doesn't have the global. So Illidan has the global at 10, and he has the 1v1, 2v1 advantage over the Dahaka. Um, Tempest for sure. I mean, they played super passively against Dig when Dig had the another really heavy scaling comp. Hero's Hearth, Anub is stronger early, Li Ming is weaker early, and Illidan is way weaker early, so I think Tempest 100% needs to invade the first camp for Hero's Hearth. 1 minute or 1 minute 10 second. Kerrigan's terrible. No, no, no. She's way too squishy. She's way, way, way too squishy. Kerrigan needs to have a double support, or at least a Blaze Bunker, to keep her alive. Solo support Tehran is not enough, especially against this stuff. And there's no one to even hit with a Kerrigan combo here. She wouldn't do anything. Yeah, even just in general on this map with Kerrigan, especially like even an Abathur Mines just to scout your rotates. So the big thing for Heroes Hearth, they might just play for the top camp very hard early on, because if Tempest invades here, what's going to happen is Tempest will clear this wave out with Phoenix mid, they'll have their 3-man bottom clearing this wave out, and then they should invade immediately, and I don't think Heroes Hearth can do anything about that. So they need to find a solution for that, which is either getting some kind of a wave advantage mid or bottom, so that Tempest can't coordinate and invade, and then being able to buying time for Li Ming to clear the camp out. Otherwise, they just have to go top, and maybe 2v1 top with Zera Illidan. Alright, there's some map hacks. See Zeratul Abathur, nobody else. Tempest knows that Heroes Hearth is not here mid for the clear. They'll throw out another owl soon for even more map hacks. Toronto has cleanse. There's the map hacks bottom, sees 2 heroes. They know they can finish clearing this. Illidan's playing safe top because they don't. Tempest has not shown very many heroes yet. And the Abathur Mines are not all set up. There's one here, they need another one here, and then Illidan will be able to step up more aggressively. They stop here, people bottom now though. And you can see, the Haka cannot do anything. Can do literally nothing, and it's even, honestly you could say, the Haka even here is overextended. When his team gets scouted here, he cannot be losing half his health bar here, and Myth the Tongue. That is already terrible, actually. Because if he's losing his health bar like this, has to blow his tap, and is not even healthy, that significantly weakens the invade of Tempest on this camp. So Tempest does have the mid control. They're not getting bullied out in the rotate at all. That's a good tongue. Hami should have evasioned before the tongue hit him. That's a mistake back by Hami. Okay, that's really bad by Crone. Should always be able to react to the animation here in Blink. 0 MS, you should always be able to make this reaction. And it's a big mistake that he doesn't. Because now, with that kill, Tempest is invading this camp. They have the Dahaka dig. There's some push happening mid. Maybe they can't, because the push mid. I don't know. Can they bring the Dahaka here? So Dahaka cleared this wave. Can you just start walking mid, or is that too scary? That's probably too scary. Because they really need to get their lanes together, so that they can make this invade. They're not even... They're capturing the wave, and they're... See, I hate this. Why are... Dahaka do this top camp at the very least. They scouted Illidan. Dahaka should be on this camp right now. And he's not. He's standing in the bush. They're not doing it. They have the stronger early game, and they're not doing anything. They Dahaka dug here. So late. Now they're behind. His blink on cooldown? Really? Oh, it is on cooldown. Why'd Murden hold the stun so long? I guess he just wanted to make sure you'd hit it. Okay. I mean, then he's just out of position in general here. The Murden rotates scouted, and he walks into the Murden. You can see Anub on the minimap. Anub sees the Murden and starts backing out, and Crowan's not. Again, why aren't you mounted up? Just sitting on your mount, so that you never die to this. Or at the very least, if you are going to be pushing a lane, push it from way further down here. So that when the Murden comes here, you're down here. And then you can walk to this wall and blink over. Just something. That death should not happen. They scouted Illidan, but yeah, Li Ming was dead. Li Ming's dead. She would just respawn. The owl sees her even. They see Li Ming here. They know absolutely every. Tempest has perfect knowledge, and they screw it up. Either Dahaka needed to dig here sooner and just step onto the point 1v3, or he needed to do top camp. Or they needed to bring Muradin and invade this. Or they needed to just invade right away and just sack a wave mid. Or they needed to bring Dahaka. Dahaka could have at least, right here, when they see two pushing mid here, what they do is when these two finish clearing mid, they throw an owl to see where these two are going, and Dahaka can start walking here. He could sit here, they throw the owl, if these two start coming top, Dahaka walks away. If these two go down to the camp, then Dahaka comes down, catches this wave, and then they can actually invade. Because this is just awful. This should not happen when you're against Abba, Zera, Illidan. It should not. No, he's trying to freeze the wave to deny experience or make Abathur use his hat cooldown top. But that dig was useless. That dig was negative value. He might even get cut off on his rotation top now. Because what Illidan can do here, right here, yeah, Zera's doing it too. They see Dahaka mid, his dig is down. Illidan doesn't touch the minion wave. Illidan goes and does the camp. Zera comes here, gets a hat. Dahaka can't walk through here without taking a ton of damage. That's exactly what's going to happen, because bottom camp's already almost cleared. No, he's not blocking him. He has to catch the wave. Alright. And this bottom camp's already mostly clear. Only one of them goes in. I mean, see, this is the weakness of Li Ming compared to Jaina, where you can actually push into the Li Ming. But Tempest is not ahead. Tempest is behind. Yeah, I feel like when you see the Illidan Zera here, you at least start your rotation mid. So that you can say, if they go to the camp, then I can be mid. And if they come up to me, then I can leave, and my team can still get this camp, while the enemy team can't do this camp because Li Ming is dead. Here's how I should do the same thing that Dignitas did here, where they gave this away. They don't have the global, they have the way bigger early game. They can stall it a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty much going to be the only stall they get. Oh no, Nimrak has the last damage that Phoenix stood in. It's still stalled. He might even be dead now. Okay, he's fine. I'm not used to solo support Abba, I guess. They better be ready for it in playoffs, otherwise they're going to just lose again. Areas of the weakness of Phoenix. Does he get Vorpal on here with Q? No, not enough damage. Where's the Abba hat right now? Where's the Abba hat cooldown? Oh, it's right here. Never mind. Okay, yeah, it's on cooldown. No way to kill that. And the enemy team's collapsing. Well, that's fine. They get some damage down. And Illidan the entire time is just dumpstering the Dahaka, and there's mines sitting here. In the rotate, you can see all of these little spots of vision. Map hacks. Anyone that's trying to come up here, dismounted. No rotating up here. You can't gank the Illidan. There's nothing you can do. And this is a bad timing for the gank too, because their camp is just spawning. So now look at how much time they spend before they actually get this camp out, because they need to just be shoving these camps in repeatedly, and not letting Heroes Hearth get these camps for free. And this is another camp Heroes Hearth is getting for free. Because this next camp here, this fort is dead. And Tempest should be at an advantage in the bottom lane that they can at least match pushing this fort. And they're not even close. And I mean, if you can't deal with this, and it's not possible for you to invade this for whatever reason, then you just need to ban Abathur, because then you can't beat this. Should be just cleanses on him. Yeah, look at Tyrant healing. Look at this, ridiculous. Tyrant actually stopped auto-attacking there a bit. It doesn't look like it mattered. He barely dies still, though. Does Ishbri not have a Q? Or is he holding it? Oh, yeah, he's holding it. Okay. So that's a 1-for-1. That's still good for Heroes Hearth. How did they set this up? So where's the map hack? So Zera clears mid ahead of Phoenix. Phoenix actually had to back. And then Muradin's catching the soak. So where's the map hacks? Because they want to push in this camp, but they need to know if the enemy team's here. Or no, they're not even trying to. They're just... Where's the Toronto cooldown? It's here. And you even see the Anub here. And you know that Zeratul left here. It's still on cooldown now. Oh. I guess your Rainer... Tron Mark comes out so late, actually, too. Rainer's already at a 3rd HP when the Tron Mark comes out. I don't think Rainer should die here, honestly. I think Tron's healing should be too strong for that. Thanks for the sub, Rob Christie. The Hawkeye to gank Illidan? How does the Hawkeye gank an Illidan? He walks up here through a bunch of mines or something? What? And Phoenix will still lose 1v1 to an Illidan that has a hat. And they still punish Heroes Hearth for going for that, but I don't think Raynor needed to die. I think Raynor should have lived there with the Tron heals. Tron reacted really late with her level 7 talent. If Illidan has W through walls, he can live here. No, he doesn't. This is really... Now, he should not kill this fort. He should leave it alive at low HP so that Tempest can't get it back. Because now he's going to die, and they're going to take it back right now. And Heroes Hearth doesn't get anything on the rest of the map because there's no camps. If he left it at low HP, there's nothing Tempest can do. Other than let it die to minions. But he could have left it on 20% HP, 15% HP. This is really aggressive by Heroes Hearth. Ishbu's dead. Mark him as soon as he gets a noob stun? Yeah. You should mark, yeah. As soon as an Anubarak burrows on your Raynor, you know that there's a hard commitment happening. Like, maybe you can wait to see the Zeratul, but the Zeratul's there instantly too. Look at this. 3 heroes, press mark. You know the enemy team's YOLOing on him. They're all inning on the Raynor kill. So why are you not using your abilities? Are you surprised that Li Ming's Zeratul with an Abathur hat is doing so much damage? Fourth to 6th NA teams would stop Mind Freak as well. They would. Nomia went 1-1 with Roll20 in Team Freedom. This seems like a call that Heroes Hearth makes for Illidan to die for this, rather than an individual decision. So this isn't Tommy's fault, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it is. But I feel like, well, you have 2 people dead, and they can be calling that the enemy team can be collapsing here, because they're not pushing bottom. And they, yeah, I don't know. And then they, I mean, there's no follow-up, there's still a wall blocking all of Li Ming's spells, and then there's a minion wave blocking all of Li Ming's spells, and then you're still diving. And then the enemy team shows up, and then you're surprised. Yeah, I mean, her level 7 talent is not an instant ancestral. It is a delayed ancestral. You have to have the healing over the 8-second period. And it's a stupid amount of healing for a level 7 talent. on a 30-second cooldown with no mana cost. But you have to actually use it properly still. But now Tempest is going to get back this fort. So now Hero's Hearth won't have 5 forts to 3 for this. Phoenix will be a little bit late, but there's Tehran stalls. Illidan has Hunt. So what Hero's Hearth wants is to get on Tehran. And they saw her heal right here, and Zera scouted her. Yeah, they can just YOLO on her. Phoenix is still not even here yet, and the Dahaka dig isn't even here yet, because the Dahaka was clearing the camp out. There's VP on the alt. I think he, with the hat he lives. Okay, I think this, what goes wrong in this engage? Because I feel like Tehran should just get one shot, and she doesn't. Does the clone come too early and scare her? Zera misses his W, and the clone gets stunned, and then the Wave of Force pushes her away, out of range of all of the melee attacks. She still dies. And then they're all stuck in a Starfall with a lot of cooldowns down. ISO hits Illidan, so he's out of the fight. Murden comes out of Cocoon. Phoenix shows up. But Hero's Hearth disengages, and they're going to be able to tap and win this still. But yeah, the Tehran has to be so safe, because she's the target. She can cleanse anyone else that gets hunted and gone on, but she can't self-cleanse. Yeah, Zera missed W in the Ishbu dives Rainer. Does he really? That would explain why. I mean, she was already kind of dead. I think it's just the Zera W in the Wave of Force. Ishbu didn't need to go on the Tehran when she was already dying to double Zera Illidan. It's good VP to delay, because the big thing here is if this ult goes off right now, he's slowed, and he'll die to this ult. This ult half shots him if he's slowed. Whereas delaying it so he's not slowed anymore does significantly less damage. And they'll both barely live and be able to tap and come back. Misses the Wave of Force on the Hawkatongue. Okay. They got the cap and got out. It's only 4 shots instead of 5. I mean, there was an advantage where Dahaka and Phoenix were delayed on the rotate here, so that's still decent value. And they can get this fort back later with more camps. It's not awful. Yeah, the Tehran was going to die with or without the noob CC. And it's Tempest, are they not able to invade this again? They're just not healthy? Because you know VP is down, Cocoon's going to be up, Clone is down, Hunt is down, and you're still not going for an invade. I feel like this is just an issue with Korean macro, where they just don't. They just smash their face in the enemy team and win because they're stronger mechanically. They don't win by finesse. They just say, oh, we're on Towers of Doom, let's just trade these camps. That's the standard thing to do when teams have equally matched comps. We'll just trade the camp, we'll push the camp in, fight over, we'll just have a 4v4 here. And then they play against a Soul Sport Abathur comp like this, against Heroes Hearth or Dignitas, and they're like, oh, our Dahaka's getting dumpstered, and this fort's just going to die over and over and over again. And they still don't even try to do something proactive on the bottom side of the map to say, oh, okay, we're just going to sit here, do nothing, trade these camps out, and then we're going to be down 5 forts to 2 or 3. Kami's Illidan better than Glau's Illidan? Probably. Yeah, I mean, they're just... Tempest is just on autopilot, basically. Oh, we'll just put her offlane in the offlane. We'll just do this camp, and we'll just do team fights around the shots. We'll just sit there and do that. Yeah. Because Dahaka's not even going top anymore. He's not even going top anymore. And now they're forcing us down, but they're way too late. They don't have a camp to push it in. Like, this should have been happening 4 minutes ago. It just should have been happening 4 minutes ago. And now it's not. And now it's too late. Illidan already got this fort, and now he can hunt on your Tyrande. Because now Illidan doesn't have to go top either. Illidan can sit mid the rest of the game now. The game's over at this point. The game should be over at this point. Because Tempest has sat there and done nothing, and now it's too late. Look at where Tyrande has the position. Look at this. And she's still going to get dove on. She's still not safe. Oh, Heroes Earth wins this with level 10. They win this with Hunt VP Cocoon. They don't even need 16 on Zeratul. The one big issue with this engage is Ishbu eats a ton of free damage before the fight starts. And I'm not sure why. And he even uses his Q. He wastes his Q. See, this is why I was not expecting Heroes Hearth to do well, is because stuff like this, where this should not be happening when you're starting to set up a flank in a team fight. Yeah, the clone was a bit early because you can just do the clone when the Zera blinks in. It was a little bit off the timing, and the clone even tips off Tempest a bit early that the engage is happening. So because this clone, when you clone here, you have to use the clone's blink to get into the fight, because the clone doesn't spawn mounted up. Whereas if you clone after the Zera blinks in, then you get your blink to use in the fight. But it doesn't even matter. Tempest can't do anything. Either you hunt, like this is instant cleansed, but that's fine. Heroes Hearth can call Phoenix as a target because they have VP for Tyrande, and that's just what they do. But as you can see, the clone had to use, I mean, it's just whatever. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that Ishbu literally contributes nothing to this fight other than a cocoon. And a Q. Imagine how less close this fight would be if Ishbu was actually able to do anything with his hero. Aggressive is the only way to play clone? Yeah, because otherwise you get kited and they kill the clone slowly. You have to... When you have a clone out, that's an advantage, and when the clone runs out of duration, then you're at a big disadvantage, and the enemy team knows that as well, so they're going to kite back and try and just kill the clone, and then reset the fight. Beetles are there to keep minions off the fort. The fort's fine. Fort's at half HP. Like, fine, you can press W, but you walked up too far. He didn't need to walk into the middle of the minion wave to have his beetle aggro the minion wave. He could be here, and the beetle would aggro the minion wave. He could be back here and let the beetle walk up and aggro the minion wave. He doesn't need to walk into range of Rain or Phoenix and lose 2/3 of his life for free before the fight even starts. And use his Q. So now, here's the thing. So his Q's on cooldown. He can't burrow in because then he insta-dies. So what's his teamfight contribution? His teamfight contribution is 0. It's a cocoon. That's not high level play. Now he might even need to, yeah. That's his teamfight contribution. That's what they got out of their noob in this teamfight. Trying to Q on, no, he missed, he didn't even hit it, and even if it does hit, it's useless. This Q doesn't do anything, even if it hits. What? And it's not going to hit because Phoenix has 40% move speed. I'll have TP for Hunt. It's too close to him. He can't TP in time. Hunt is a 1-second delay and Phoenix is 0.75. And then the travel time is 1/4 second at most. Probably less. And it's really risky because you're not even sure where Illidan's hunting from and how close he is to you. Yeah, he got cleansed and he could have E'd now. But he wanted to ult the backline. But he died before his ult went off. This fight should be such a ridiculous stomp for Heroes Hearth, and it still is a pretty ridiculous stomp, but a noob contributed nothing to it. And then misses the burrow. Like, what? This was a 4v5 fight for Heroes Hearth. It just was. And they executed it well. The rest of the members on their team executed the fight well. Real Zera blinked on the Tyrande, VP'd her. Illidan called target on Phoenix, stuck on him. Li Ming tried to combo the Phoenix, but it got cleansed, because the VP was maybe a bit late, maybe later than expected. But then when Li Ming got resets, then she hit her spells. They called Raynor, they went on the Raynor, blink in, Wave of Force away the Tyrande, sure, get some resets. That was a bad Wave of Force right there. Missed completely. But I mean, Zera, Clone Zera, and Illidan all did their job. Li Ming did a pretty good job too. So toxic? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A noob could have been dead for this fight, and it would have been the same result. Now the game's 100% over. Again, you just sit here and let your Illidan dumpster the Dahaka. Don't even need to escort these camps in. Just let Illidan go push this, go get a camp out, go solo the boss, do whatever the hell you want. Don't know what's happening here, though. It's a really late Phoenix ult. And the slow duration on start. What is that clone? Is BBA just mashing every key on his keyboard? And he has clone on quick cast, so he just accidentally hit R over the Li Ming. That's a big deal, having clone down for this fight. I mean, it is clone still for these ults, but Illidan back in them. He stepped up ready to engage? No, he's not the engage. A noob is the follow-up for the hunt. A noob can sit on his mount and go AFK until hunt comes in. He shouldn't walk into a Phoenix and a Raynor and lose 2/3 of his health bar, and then waste his Q. Shouldn't be a fight here, though? Yeah, there shouldn't, but Tempest seeing that clone is down, if they saw it, would maybe still go for an invade. I mean, it's still so risky. I don't know, their comp doesn't do anything. Nice owl block. There goes Illidan. This fort's gonna die. Dahaka's never gone top lane. Dahaka is just, I mean, this is the thing, is if your Dahaka realizes at like 5 minutes into the game he could never go top lane again, because he's going to get dumpstered, then why is the entire team not realizing that? Why is the entire team not making macro decisions to try and win the game, or not be in this situation where this is happening? Yeah, Tempest comp is built around the idea of we're just going to smash our faces into each other in team fight. And just have a fair 5v5 team fight around some caps. And then just do nothing the rest of the game. Yeah, Korean macro is not looking good. So, I mean, Tempest can't do anything. They can't siege here. There's a 16 Zera. Zera can just blink in and clear this wave instantly. They're not even blocking Li Ming W's. They clone the Li Ming just for wave clear. There's a mule. They can't even kill the mule because it's so far back. The game's over. This fort's dead. The game's over. GG. Good job, Tempest. Nice macro. Illidan suicides for the fort. Worth it. Hashtag worth in the chat. VP, try and secure caps. Yep. Owl actually stalled. Doesn't matter. Game's over. Tempest macro. Shit. Sat there and let Heroes Hearth's comp do whatever they wanted. I wouldn't call this a cheese comp because Dig basically showed the exact same comp, and this should be a standard Towers comp where you just have an Abathur and you have the winning offlaner, and that's how you play the map, or how you can play the map. And Tempest already lost to it once, and then said, "Oh, we'll just deny the Dahaka. That'll fix everything." Nope. Nope. You can't just deny the Dahaka and then still do nothing. Go AFK for the first 10 minutes of the game. Yeah, Dig already showed them, hey, if we have Abathur and then a winning offlane, then you lose the game. And Tempest like, nah, we're just gonna deny the Dahaka and then ban Jaina. What is macro and is there micro? Yeah, so micro is like individual mechanics, such as so micro is individual mechanics, such as don't walk into the enemy team and lose 2/3 of your life for free, and miss your abilities, and like get a good VP down and get good focus targets. That's micro, playing your individual hero well. And then macro is what you do on the map as a team, in terms of like what's your game plan for what are we doing in the next 2 minutes. We have 5 heroes. We only need 2 of them to really clear these minion waves out. What are we doing the rest of the time with our heroes? And Tempest did nothing. Tempest sat here and did this camp a few times, and then they never invaded this once. They tried to super late after they took this camp, and then that's it. They let their Dahaka get shit on, which is expected, and there's nothing they can do about it because Abba just mines in the rotate. But if you should expect that your Dahaka is going to get shit on. You should expect that you can't rotate to gank the Illidan, as long as Heroes Hearth is having a brain. So you should expect that you're going to need to do something else, and then they didn't. They did nothing. So then they lose. Yeah, Micro was how Genji wins too. They didn't know what to do in super pressure. They didn't know what to do on the map in general. It's like, oh, Abathur on this map? Haha, that's an NA troll pick. Silly NA. We're just going to go team fight you, and then Heroes Hearth beat them in team fights too, because their comp was better. Make the same last time with offlane stage dive ETC? Yeah, rich frontline Junkrat. Pretty much Wolf's pregame analysis of the HHE comp. Oh, this is just a silly NA comp. Ha ha ha. NA's so funny picking Abathur. Everyone knows Abathur's not a good hero. Silly NA and your Abathur Illidan. That's so 2016. Tempest is gonna smash their face into yours, and their forehead skull is really thick, so it's going to smash harder. And then you proceed to watch the Hawkeye never go top lane ever again after 5 minutes, because he can't. Alright, double tank ban. Maiev, Genji, Tyrande, all up. So, if Genji's picked, we saw before, when Genji was picked, he has really strong early game, but he falls off mid and late game in team fights, especially on this map, because you can always be so close to your structures. So, Tyrande is up, 100% going to pick that, and then after that, Heroes Hearth really likes Joe, so it's probably just Joe Tyrande. Unless they've realized that Joe was not super high priority. I mean, maybe it is, with Garrosh Diablo gone. Blaze this time. Alright, nice. I mean, there's one thing where you can say, alright, we feel like this hero is the best hero on this map. But if the enemy team is never going to touch that hero, you don't need to pick it early. Because Heroes Hearth could wait the entire draft and then get Joe last pick, because Tempest will never pick that hero. So there's no reason to 1-2 Joe, or first pick Joe. That's insane. Oh yeah, from what I've seen so far, Genji will just get shit on in macro against Dignitas. They'll just smash their face into Dignitas, and Dignitas will go take some forts, and the game will be over. So Tempest here, probably support. No, alright, Irel and a Nubarak. Sure. So Heroes Hearth could go for a support ban on Deckard, most likely. Or a ranged ban. Ranged, Hero's Hearth would like Phoenix if possible, and then a Rainer would be fine, and then a tank, which is probably going to be a last pick Joe, or maybe hold your last pick for a flexible hero and get your Joe here. How many hammer comps do we see in the final? She's probably going to be permabanned because it's Dignitas, and the hero's broken, and they play around it well. They don't walk into the enemy team and die while the hammer's slow sieging. Tempest ban. I mean, they could ban Joe for the tank denial. Every single time Hero's Hearth has been on this map, they pick Joe. Otherwise, they could ban Phoenix, because then you don't really want Junkrat into Genji and a noob. Jaina ban, really? Are they really scared of Jaina when they have a noob Genji Irel? I mean, the Jaina has a Blaze and a Tyrande, but this gives away the Phoenix. I mean, it's not just a tempo diss. Like, my team, Octalysis, you can go back to our VODs and watch our games when we have Sergeant Hammer, and my teammates are doing some really silly things while I'm slow sieging a Sergeant Hammer. They're just randomly diving the enemy backline. There's so much. I mean, I don't know. Do you just get bored? Do you just not want to sit there and win the game for free? Because that's just an issue that a lot of players have, I guess. Where you can't let the Sergeant Hammer attack move and 1v5 the enemy team, because no one can fight her. Surprised by the Hanzo pick. I feel like, because this gives away Phoenix to Tempest, and Tempest wants Phoenix for the wave clear. So I don't like giving away Phoenix to Tempest. Do not like that at all. Is this a Valera pick? Is that what Hero's Hearth wants? Or is it actually just Junkrat? Because Junkrat loses the matchup, the 1v1 to Phoenix. He loses. He's vulnerable to the. Oh, it's Kerrigan. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I still would rather have this be a Phoenix, and then this not be a Phoenix for Tempest. Like, you already banned Decker too, so you know they're going Malf for White Man, so they're going to have cleanse for your Hanzo ult. AoE cleanse. Or if it's Malf. This should be Phoenix. I mean, I guess you say they have Phoenix, we counter the Phoenix ult with Blaze ult, but there's more value to... I mean, it makes your team fights better against the Phoenix, but... I mean, you have the wave clear, but this gives them the wave clear. Because, look at Tempest 3-man outside the Phoenix. Malf, Anub, Genji. If they don't get Phoenix, what do they get? A Junkrat? A Gul'dan? Crowan plays Hanzo better? Yeah. That's true. All 5 heroes have stuns? Sure, if you want to count the Hanzo ult. Sets up big combos better than Phoenix, though. But Phoenix follows up on combos. They don't need more setup. They have plenty of setup with Joe, Kerrigan, Blaze. They need follow-up for the CC. Because you can't just CC them for 10 seconds and then not have them die. Because they have a Malfeal and Irel armor on them the entire time. Yeah, this is a way better draft display. Boss? No. Boss is not a relevant factor at all in Tim. So wait, there's no way you sneak a boss. There's no way you go and do a boss. If you're ahead enough to do the boss, you do the boss regardless of your team comp. You don't even take the W damage at level 4 on this map on Hanzo, so you don't even do more DPS than a Phoenix or other DPS. You could literally remove the boss from this map and it would play out the same in competitive. It would be slightly less snowbally, and that's it. Doesn't matter. Just a comfort thing. So Tempest. I mean, Phoenix. The other thing too with Phoenix is he is vulnerable to Kerrigan combo, but so is any other wave clear hero that Tempest could pick. There isn't a hero they could pick for wave clear that would not just eat a Kerrigan combo and die. Going to Zul Blaze frontline? No. I mean, this is the issue too, is Hero's Hearth is in a spot where they have to bring out Kerrigan and actually show it, when they would have preferred to hide this for playoffs, and not have to show that they play it, and show how effective they are when playing with it. Phoenix is not a hard hero. All you have to do is swap your W every third attack, or fourth attack, and then hit your Q. Don't see Mac on my she's permabanned. The hero is permabanned. You don't get to pick this hero. She's OP hero. One of the best heroes in the game. She's banned by whoever's second pick. Go through. Let's do this. Let's go through draft details right now. Talk about Maev and stuff. Master League, let's go. Just go matches. Let's go hero. Maev. Hopefully this includes when she's banned. It doesn't. Okay, never mind. Alright, let's go through some drafts if we can look at it. First pick banned. Sure. Let's do this instead. This is a bit better. There. Good enough. Click on heroes. Sure, this works too. No, this only shows games where she's actually picked. She is banned most often by second pick. Because if she's not, first pick will first pick her. Yeah, she has 100% popularity. Her, Genji, and Tarant, I believe. Plus or minus some troll games. The blue-red shows? Okay. Whatever, don't need to go in detail. Made my point. You don't just give away the hero to first pick. Because if you don't ban it a second pick, the other team will pick it. That's just a fact. The hero's too strong. So Hero's Hearth does have way better wave clear. Tempest probably has to 1-3-1. Just leave Phoenix up here. And then 3-man mid to be able to rotate out. Both teams can do Knights really well. Hero's Hearth has all the map hacks. Yeah, Maev's just OP. Just has way too much wave clear, way too much flexibility, way too much control. Alright, so for Hero's Hearth, they want to get their CC engage on Malf or Phoenix if possible. The other heroes of Tempest all have ways to dodge a Kerrigan combo if they don't have a different way to start up the combo. Such as that, with the Joe pull. I mean, it's kind of hard to just take the win rate at 49% when you have to look at when the better team plays it, or the worst team plays it against the better team, when it doesn't matter what hero's involved. I don't have my own, like, stat page put together where I could just sort and say, take all the teams with 90% or higher loss rates and then just delete all their matches from the stats. But if you could do that, I think Genji's win rate would go up. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things you can do with Genji to make him more balanced. Make his E just not go through walls, and make his D only go over walls, make him melee, remove the resets, remove the level 4 talent, because the level 4 talent's really dumb, make deflect a much shorter duration, increase his cooldowns, because his cooldowns are too low. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Blizzard just needs to do something. Yeah, I mean, that's another issue, where if you have a hero's kit that's so strong, where you either have to make them do 0 damage, or otherwise they're just going to do whatever they want. There's a nice double jump from Kerrigan, no counterplay. Counter engage on Crowan, but Tarant heals too much. Crowan did not need to jump out here. Genji dashes down, a new burrow is down, Malfruit is already down here, Q. Every single cooldown is down, he does not die here, with Tarant spell armor on him already too. It's just a cooldown wasted. But yeah, that's going to be Phoenix's life, is if Kerrigan can Q twice to him and then combo him, he can't dodge it. He's too fat. It's impossible to miss a Kerrigan combo on that hero. and it's impossible to sidestep it on that hero. So unless you start your E when she starts her first jump even remotely towards you, you can't live. And if you're doing that, that's a 70-second cooldown traded for an 8-second cooldown with charges. And then your E is down, so then they can just YOLO on you with other stuff. Deflective directional immune, I don't think the engine is able to do that. I mean, if they put in the time and resources to make directional stuff like that work, then they could do it, but as it is now, they won't. So this is good by Tempest, where they leave someone up here to guard the Phoenix so we can fast clear the top wave. So at the very least, this mitigates Heroes Hearth's early game advantage. D.Va kind of does it already. I mean, she puts a box on the ground. If you want Genji to put a box that just goes all the way from here all the way across the map, then sure, just a gigantic triangle. But otherwise, I mean, I guess you could have a smaller triangle, but it would look ugly. Kind of thing was able in Warcraft 3 engine, but Warcraft 3 engine isn't StarCraft 2 engine. The big issue for Tempest is they have a Genji, so they want to be winning the early game, and they're not, because they're against the Kerrigan. And here, Heroes Hearth is getting caught out very badly. So why does this happen? So they're trying to turn in, while Kerrigan's clearing the wave top, and while Aurel is pushing in the Blaze. So Tempest just sees this Hanzo and just go on him instantly. Can Hanzo react to that Anubaro, or is it too close range? No, it's too close range. Okay. But he jumps out afterwards. Genji dodges the Kerrigan combo. With his move speed. 30% move speed. But then Aurel shows up. And if Aurel wasn't here, then Heroes Hearth is fine. But they're 5v4. Or 4v5. Because Aurel out-rotates Blaze. Turn Genji, yeah, just turn Genji into Probius, and then everything's fine. It's a good counter combo. Gives him a lot of shield back. Phoenix is fine though, he's got 40% move speed. Crowan's barely alive. He got out of range of deflect, and McIntyre tanked it for him. But now things are kind of falling apart for Heroes Hearth. And now Tempest is getting in all of their gems. And the big thing too is Heroes Hearth has map hacks. So they always know what's going on. There's a misstall by Blaze, which is not very good. Because, again, it's really hard, especially when you're against the Blaze, to ever get your gems in as the offlaner. And now that the gems are in, Heroes Hearth is under a lot more pressure. Strike at the heart, by the way, yeah, it's dumb. I feel like Heroes Hearth shouldn't be losing this turn-in, but because of that first fight. And where are their map hacks, actually? So they map hack top, and they don't see Phoenix at all. And Phoenix is the wave clear. Phoenix is the hero that would be going top to clear this. And now the Hanzo vision comes down, but it's too late. Torod went spell armor this time? Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, Crowan. I mean, that was a blind Sonic Arrow. He didn't know where the Phoenix was turned in from. That was a Sonic Arrow kind of to scout. And just shouldn't. I don't think this should happen where a turn-in is snuck. If Tempest wins a fight and gets a kill, then sure they can get gems in. But if this is just a 5v5 or a 4v4 here, and Heroes Hearth has Hanzo Vision Arrow and Tyrande, and already the rotation advantage control with Joe and Kerrigan, that shouldn't happen. Frankly, imagine you never see that, they take it half the time. Half the time it's root stealing, half the time it's bigger root. I mean, Blaze was fighting Aurel. Aurel was pushing into him. Because Blaze's job is not to have Aurel pushing the wave into him and stall a turn in 1v2. Blaze's job is to stall Aurel's turn in. That's his job. And he did messed up that job, but his job is not to be dealing with an Arel and also stall somebody else turning in. That is not his job. That is the rest of his team's job. But yeah, the mistake on the Arel turn-in, that is bad. But him not stalling Phoenix's turn-in, that's not his fault. That's nothing to do with Blaze. And this is a nice swap by Tempest, where Arel would have a harder time pushing into Blaze, so they swap Phoenix, and Phoenix would have a harder time pushing into this. So this is a really nice swap. That I feel like, can they not scout this with map hacks? They do scout this. Maybe they don't. Not quite. Maybe they can't do anything about it because Phoenix is by himself. But if they rotate Kerrigan down to defend, would that be better? Maybe not. I guess this is fine. Where Phoenix, if he was getting 1v1 by any hero, he'd be fine. But in a 4v4, he's never going to be fine. So this is just good rotation by Tempest. Okay, Tempest getting pretty good value out of the first turn, and that's all 3 walls. Dive on BBJ. How does this happen? So he gets the rotate through, and then he dismounts the auto attack minions, and then he stays. And Dishbu already used cooldowns here. I mean, you have the map packs down. Where's the owl? You see the noob, too, I think. Just greedy to auto-attack minions here. Just sitting here auto-attacking some minions, auto-attacking the Genji, walk back up to auto-attack a beetle. Maybe they punish this dive. A noob has no cooldowns. Okay, they're still punishing the dive. I guess it's a bait. I guess it's fine. You just say, hey, if they're really going to dive me this deep under my fort. But the thing is, I think Tempest could have dove on this a lot sooner, too. Like right here, a noob could already do this burrow. And then this dive is successful for Tempest. The problem is that they wait so long before they punish this Tehran positioning. They wait so long. And then they're here instead of here for the dive. Half the team went into Arel, half the team backed. I mean, they wanted to be clearing the wave. So, but I mean, the big thing here is let's say theoretical positioning. If Tehran is just sitting back here, and then you have a Kerrigan and a Joe here, then everything's fine. But if your Tehran's getting gone on, then it's not fine. That's the issue. Though it is fine because it's so deep, and Tempest is too far in, and Tehran is way too tanky. Because if Tehran, I mean, any other support would insta-die here, but she has 30 spell armor and has tons of burst healing. But Tempest runs out of minions, so they end up tanking for a long time. I mean, at this point here it's a bait, but at this point right here, she dismounts, auto-attacks a minion. This is not a bait. This is just, should just be dead. He dies before his pre-tap ends. Is even close to ending. So, like, right here, he comes up, he dismounts, and taps, and auto-attacks minion. Right here, they could have gone on him. And it would have been even better, because Malph's in follow-up range, and Irel's closer. But Tempest waits so long for some reason. I don't know why, if they're scared of Kerrigan or Joe, but then they see the Kerrigan and the Joe, and then they're not scared to go in. So it seems like just a really late engage, like 5-second late engage by Tempest. Yeah, they shouldn't dive that deep. But they can dive here easily. They can dive this. Look at the positioning. Look at the minimap here. Look at the minimap. So here's Tehran right next to her well. Look at this, and there's Genji right below the Anub. That is the easiest kill ever, if they just take it. Just a noob burrow over the wall, free. Q, Malfruit from here. Irel jumps in, Genji dashes in, she's dead. Yeah, he is burrow. Yeah, Heinz at... I mean, but Tempest sees this opportunity. But they see it way too late. Or for some reason they see this as an opportunity, but not this three or 5 seconds earlier. Because I feel like Tehran was out of position there, but it wasn't punished until it was too late to punish it. Do they have vision? They see it. She dismounts to auto attack away a minion. She's here. She auto attacks. She's revealed. As soon as that auto attack goes off, they see her. And then Genji sees her. Revealed. Genji sees her. Go on her now. Even now you can go on her and she still dies. They wait so long to go on her. They could even go on her while she's stacked with the Kerrigan right here. Even right here, she's stacked with 3 heroes. You could go on this. Get in a burrow charge and stun on both of them into Malfruit. That's a good engage. Phoenix losing to Blaze bot. Yeah, Phoenix losing to Blaze bot is not good. Genji's E wasn't up? Now it's up. His E is up. They don't even need it though, too. And if it's on cooldown, then it's on cooldown for 2 or 3 seconds, and they can still go in. Phoenix versus Blaze when Blaze has this talent kind of sucks though too. Just because, first of all, Blaze can really easily stop your shields from regenning by Q spamming, and then if you go in range to walk up and hit the wall or hit the Blaze, he can always charge you and then get this Q for a ton of burst damage. And now the entire lead from Tempest turn-in is gone, and now Hero's Hearth has a turn-in. And it's a lot harder for Tempest to defend, because they don't have nearly as much wave clear in defense. Irel can hold one lane, and then Phoenix, unless he gets to 1v1 against Blaze bottom, cannot hold against 4v4. They do have Knights, though. Joe killing minions was good? Yeah. I mean, Joe was going to clear the minions anyway. That was the entire plan of Hero's Hearth, is Joe and maybe Kerrigan clear the wave out, and Hanzo Qs it, and Tehran be safe. But Tehran wasn't safe. And Joe was already committed to clearing the wave when the dive started anyway. Tower hit a noob there? Yeah, it did. It started aggro on him after the wave died. So these Knights actually help the Tempest defend a lot. Could Heroes Earth have done their Knight camp? Oh, it looks like they just missed the aggro on it. Yeah, so they were even planning to do it, but it doesn't get aggroed. Hanzo's full HP, yeah. Hanzo Kerrigan, neither one aggroes it. Because that actually causes a big problem for Hero's Hearth, where Tempest gets this Night Camp out, and this Night Camp completely negates this Web Weaver. And meanwhile, Blaze can't push into a rel, and Phoenix isn't being pressure top, which... I don't know, because they do need to clear out this Night Camp still. Hero's Hearth does. But then, at the same time, Phoenix is top clearing for free, because he's not being pressured by the Kerrigan foreman. So this Web Weaver's dead without doing anything. This Web Weaver's dead, only damaging the wall a little bit. And then top is the only lane that's actually pushing. It's still really hard for Tempest to defend this, because they can get Dove, and Hero's Hearth is here as 5. And their rotation is... Hero's Hearth's rotation is faster. That's kind of to be expected, because they have to rotate around this wall, whereas Hero's Hearth can go directly. Tempest is setting up for flank, though. Okay, they're going on a noob. Alright, and he's dead. And then Hanzo jumps away from the bunker. Now Mac's in trouble. So, they say a noob's W is down, and we can chain CC him through cleanse, because it's not a real unstoppable. So Bless Shield, cleansed, Blaze Charge plus Kerrigan combo. I don't think there's enough time for a noob to even burrow out here, so he is just chain CC to death. But the issue is then the expectation. I mean, maybe you're a bit surprised that they're flanking on you here, maybe, but the Blaze is who keeps you safe, and they jump away from the Blaze. and then they leave the bunker again. This is a full HP bunker. They could camp in it for the entire duration. Because I think this engage is fine, as long as they all get in the bunker. Because obviously Genji's going to half-shot your backline, but... It's a good dodge by Phoenix here. Tron doesn't even get the mark out until the very end of this fight, too. Because the other thing, too, you know... When does Phoenix drop his ult? You know when the Phoenix ult goes down on your whole team, everyone wants to go in the bunker. Malf heroic pick? Do I think Trank is better here? Did he even use... Oh yeah, it's Trank. Oh yeah, it's fine. Trank is always fine. I mean, I guess you could Twilight Dream, try to. It's so scary though. Like the thing with Twilight Dream is, you want to use Twilight Dream when you're able to walk into the enemy team and Twilight Dream some people, or Twilight Dream one person to focus them down and CC them. But the issue is, even if you're following up on a noob engage on somebody, if you step up, you're going to get hit by a ton of CC anyway, and you're not going to be able to Twilight Dream. And in the middle of a team fight, you're still not going to be able to. So I think Trank is just better for sure in this game. And the other thing, even if you do Twilight Dream and it does hit, Tron cleanses it. Or no, she doesn't have it, she has spell armor. But even if it does hit, there's still a bunker. It's still unstoppable. There's still a lot of other stuff. Hami didn't call it. I mean, you don't even need to... I mean, it should be an expectation that if you're in trouble in a team fight, you go to your Blaze, and your Blaze tries to go to you. I mean, maybe Hami could have walked over here a little bit further and before bunkering, but... I mean, maybe it wasn't called, and maybe that was part of the issue, but... The expectation should be, I have a Blaze, that's where I go in the team fight. Because normally, if you don't have Blaze, you say, I'm getting focused, I go to my support to try and get them to heal me. But with the Blaze, that's another hero you can go to get help. It's a good flank by Tempest. And they punish the commitment on a noob. I don't think it was an overcommitment on a noob. If they use the bunker, I think Heroes Hearth wins the fight. But they didn't. Now they lost all their gems. Lockdown playing Genji well so far? I mean, mechanically, yeah. It was a good X-Strike up here, off of the Phoenix slow. Got a lot of damage out. I mean, he hasn't inted, so he's doing his job. I don't know. What do you expect from a Genji other than dash on their backline and do a ton of damage? There's nothing else. He hasn't had to dodge a Kerrigan combo once. He hasn't been caught out of position by a chain CC. He just do whatever. Do whatever you do on Genji. Whatever you feel like doing is what you're gonna do on Genji anyway. As long as you don't throw yourself into the enemy team 1v5 and die instantly. Alright, so at least this time Tempest doesn't have their night camp from earlier, and Heroes Hearth will have their night camp out to defend Webweaver. Good cap timing there. Night camp will be at the wall to defend, right as Webweaver's spawning. Okay, Hanzo ult, Kerrigan combo, and backline's dead. Okay. I mean, yeah. Did they see Hanzo top? Yeah, they knew Hanzo was top because of that W. So, I mean, Tempest doesn't have map hacks, and Heroes Hearth does. So Heroes Hearth map hacks the entire position of Tempest. That makes it really easy for Hanzo ult to find a good angle. And, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Malf and Phoenix should be further apart. Maybe there should be a tank always in front to block that. But, I mean, you don't know where the Hanzo ult's coming from. Like, they saw him here 5 or 10 seconds ago, but at any point he can ult from up here. Maybe that's even what they're trying to defend against, is a Hanzo ult from up here. But he could be down here by now. He could even wait a couple more seconds and get all the way down to here. And there's no way you can block every angle effectively while still pushing and doing stuff. Maybe Malf's a bit too far up here. You could say that. You could say Malf was a bit too far up and too too close to the Phoenix. Because if Malf isn't here, and he doesn't even react to the Hanzo ult, because this Hanzo ult is in vision right here. So the Hanzo ult's seen here, and there's at least a half second to a full second to react to it. And there's no way Phoenix can't react to it with his E, obviously. But Malf can react to it with his ult. And he even with this position here, he can react to it and walk away and be out of range of the stun. Phoenix is still going to die, because again, Hero's Hearth is just going to press all their CC buttons, and Malf's cleanse is not an unstoppable. So, even if this hits, is cleansed, Kerrigan combo is still going to hit him, but the Malf should not be in that combo. It's good follow-up. Maybe a noob can get a cocoon out. And Kerrigan barely gets a combo out. And then, I mean here, look, you just drop the bunker. Look at where Hanzo is this time in the fight. He's just forward, just near the blaze. So I mean, I can see where the team fight advantage against the Phoenix comes in, where he can't deal with the chain CC. But I also make the argument that if you denied the Phoenix from Tempest, I have no idea what hero they pick to actually be able to even wave clear in the early game. Maybe it's a bit riskier if you take the Phoenix yourself and team fights are a bit harder, but I feel like you should have such a huge early game advantage that it shouldn't matter. Because the big thing too is the substitute for Phoenix ends up being another hero that's still vulnerable to Kerrigan and everything. You just lose out on the Hanzo arrow. So that's another turn in from Tempest with no value. Or, no, that's the only one that hasn't been. Yeah, I mean, there was counterplay. It's not like the Malf just got a bunch of buttons pressed on him and he died, like, say, the Anub over here. I mean, the big thing is, if the enemy team decides to press every single button they have on you, you're probably still going to die, unless you have some insane saves. But it's up to your team to punish that and counterplay it. But if you and a teammate are both getting every single button pressed on you, then you're just going to lose the fight. Especially when it's your entire backline. Sandbagging? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe the first game they were, but the second game they shouldn't have been. It's a nice punish on the... Seems like a really forced engage, though. Yeah, there's no follow-up on this. So, I mean, you're Tempest and you say, this Hanzo's a bit overextended, look how far up he is. And yeah, there's pings for help and stuff. The issue is, you have two heroes clearing top. Irel's not even mounted yet. Your Genji's already half HP, and your Malf is going to get zoned. Because your Malf sees a Joe and says, oh, I'm not walking into that. And then you burrow in, and then Tehran presses Q, and then presses it again, and then Hanzo's 30 spell armor. And then the rest of your team is going to die. Follow up without Phoenix or Irel, or without Hero's Hearth having any cooldowns down. I mean, Hero's Hearth is down ults. That's the only thing Hero's Hearth is down for this fight. Is they're down Bunker, Starfall, Kerrigan Ultimate. But you don't have Irel. You don't have Phoenix. That's just the 3v5. Because you see it, you know the entire enemy team's here. You see every single hero. Yeah, you know every single hero's here when you choose to engage this. I mean, even if you kill the Hanzo here, this is again where if Tempest is going to press every single button on the Hanzo, they're going to die. Anub is dead without very much Hanzo damage. And then look at the backline trying to follow up on that. When does Tehran 7 get activated? Now? Okay. It's a random engage by Tempest. I mean, the Anub said he wanted to go for it, but he tunneled on it or something. He just didn't look at where his team was positioned, because the only person in position to follow up on that effectively was Genji. There was no Phoenix follow-up, there was no their L follow up, and Malf had to kill himself to follow up, which is not really good. Map packs. Though they might not end up realizing that Phoenix is sneaking the bottom camp. But this boss is going to get a lot more value when there's nobody defending it and dealing damage to it before it goes to the keep. Here's Hearth is committing down one lane. So the other two web weavers are not going to get any value, but with this boss already still half health, and the web weaver coming in, and almost a 16 advantage, it could be a keep, maybe. Heroes Hearth Siege is not that great. Unless Kerrigan can walk up and hit the buildings, which maybe she can. Alright. Just take the keep. Alright. Are they trying to end? And Genji's doing his best. He's sitting there and throwing some little shurikens, but he's down 2 levels, so they don't really do damage. Okay. Wasted a tiny bit of time there, but they were looking... Heroes Hearth were there looking for an opportunity. If they found some kind of an engage off of, say, a Hanzo ultimate, if, again, Phoenix and Malf stacked up, then maybe they find something, but they tried. They backed off pretty quickly. They didn't waste much time. It's okay. He had Cocoon 2 before the engage? The earlier engage? I don't know. Didn't see it. Didn't see it getting used. There's some map packs for the flank. Some more map packs for the everything else. And Heroes Hearth knows where every single hero Tempest is. That was a... Was that a full combo that Kerrigan just did there? I don't see the... I can't see the W. Maybe it wasn't. Alright, there's Cocoon on Blaze. Instantly broken. That Blaze charge barely misses. And I think Kerrigan combo might be down here too. The Bless Shield also stacks a little bit. Because Phoenix is a bit far forward here. After a new, right when a new burrow is out here, that's when Heroes Hearth look to punish. Because if the new burrow is down, he's not a hero anymore. So he can't do anything to peel for his teammate. But is there no Tehran stun either? They're just down a lot of cooldowns, I guess. I mean, whatever. They used a few ults, just back up. Tempest has no turn-ins. You can just go AFK under your forts until your cooldowns are back. It's fine. Maybe still kill this fort. You're far enough ahead. Before diving because he got CC chain. Even if you cocoon somebody, it doesn't matter. Point of the Anu bolt there is 17-15. I don't know. He was maybe looking for a fight. So we cocoons here, but is Genji already dashed out? And is Aurel in position to flank yet? I don't know. I mean, it's a low cooldown. I mean, I feel like it's better to use your ults proactively if you think you see an opportunity than to just sit there and never use them. As long as you aren't overcommitting and saying like, because if you use your Anub, if you think you see an opportunity here and you cocoon, and then you call it off, that's fine. But if you do this cocoon and you say, oh, I used my ultimate, we need to fight, and then he burrows on this or something and kills himself because his team isn't in position and his Genji just dashed out, that's bad. But this is okay. Where you try to do something, enemy team responds appropriately, and then that's fine. Try to do something, you maybe don't have the cooldowns available to make it work perfectly, enemy responds appropriately by getting the blink off, okay. They stack, yeah, they did stack the Hanzo ult with the Bless Shield a bit. They kind of got used at the same time. I mean, I'm not expecting perfection, but if you're gonna walk into the enemy team in int, that's bad. If you're gonna have the enemy team entirely in fog while you have map packs on cooldown for a few more seconds and then just walk into a wave and die, that's bad. Or if you're not going to look at your minimap for where your team's positioned before a fight starts and then killed yourself, I mean, that's not good either, so. Joe wasted W on Cocoon. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think they used, like, Joe W and Tehran stun and everything, and Blaze barely couldn't get in range to follow up on it. So whatever, even if they get that kill, they probably don't get much more. They'd get maybe this wall. But they're still in a fine spot. They didn't throw the game or anything due to that. More map hacks on the flank. Map hacks on the front. You see the enemy team. You know you're safe to push up and siege. And as soon as this goes down, there's another owl. More map hacks. Still C4 heroes. Genji was split pushing bottom. So you know he's close to flanking you guys now. And they're respecting that. With BBJ and Crone both backing up, they're not even sieging anymore. Enemy team 16. And then as soon as this wave's cleared, map hacks. Either through here or through here. Maybe not yet. Okay, they still see people top. In fact, they see the entire enemy team top. Siege bots, they can't easily rotate a top to clear. No. It's too risky. They can just play for 20. They were sieging mid because they had a night camp, and then Tempest got 16 and killed the night camp, and then they leave. They don't need to take a risk. They're already up a keep. They're up 2 levels. And their comp might even scale better. Phoenix 20 is good. Mouth 20 is pretty good. Kerrigan 20 is good, I think. Tron 20 is good. Alright. Tempest needs to do something now with their night camp pushing mid. So Tempest will have pseudo map hacks with a night camp mid pushing here. And then that will either limit where Hero's Hearth can position, or give them vision if Hero's Hearth is still positioning here. Not as good as Tron Owls. Also, Blaze stalls are really strong. And that's a Hanzo W. So it's rough, because they're just getting poked out now. They did sneak in, Phoenix turn in. He got some gems in. Only 6, though. I mean, maybe Hero's Hearth can spread out a little bit more, where they have a tank in here, and a tank in here, so that they can spot both turn-ins at the same time. But they saw the majority gem holder, which was Irel, so they were focusing on her. A new burrow is down, so they're looking for an engage, and they actually just cocoon. Phoenix is dead, though. That was his E. Phoenix too far up by himself. He shows on the wave, and as soon as Mac is in range, they're kind of looking at a noob because a noob burrowed, but then they call Phoenix because he's way too far alone. I think they catch Z. Yeah. Hero just gets farmed. And I don't even think the Hanzo ult was necessary at this point. I think Kerrigan could probably get... Yeah, I think he E's too late, even just reacting to the Kerrigan coming out of the bush, and he would die to the combo by itself. Not 100% sure, but... That's the weakness of Phoenix, is he doesn't have a way to escape reliably. If he's getting focused and there are any interrupts, he just can't E. He just has to walk. Unless his team has a hard cleanse, an unstoppable cleanse. Underdog in each series, and how can they win? I'll talk about it after this. Actually, let's just pull up the bracket right now. It's fine. It'll be quick anyway. So, okay, so it'll be Genji versus the One. The One, I mean, they've somehow won 5 games, but their ranged player, who is their sub, is really, really weak, and meh. I don't know, maybe they can cheese something. I mean, basically my expectation for any of these two 4th place teams against 1st place is to cheese. That's the only way they have a chance. And not Tempo Storm, Anubarak, Greymane, Illidan cheese, because that was awful. That was just terrible. Liquid versus Hero's Hearth. I mean, they both have the same record. So, I don't know. Liquid can win that. I think this is probably pretty even. Tempest versus Miracle. Tempest looks pretty bad. Haven't watched Miracle vs Genji yet, so I'm not sure about that. But Tempest looking weak. In terms of macro, in terms of drafting, everything but mechanics and team fighting. And even that was not even great in these matches right now. And then, yeah. How do you win if you're an underdog? If you're a Tempest Storm or the one, you cheese. That's it. Best of threes, just cheese them. If it's a best of 5, you have no chance. But best of 3s, there is a possibility. So here we go. What's this engage start with? Tehran stun. I mean, yeah, look at this range. And if you're a big hero like this, if Tehran just presses E on you right here, and you... Because there's always going to be... Because human reaction time is 0.1 to 0.2... so a fifth to a tenth of a second. So if Tehran presses E here, and you're a really fat hero, and you don't have an instant blink like a Li Ming or something, then a tenth of a second later you move a little bit, you're in the very center of the stun, or close to it, and there's no way you dodge it anymore. And I mean, so that's just long range stun, no way to dodge it, you try to walk past it, you're still in the circle, you try to juke back, you're still in the circle, you just get stunned, and then off of that, everyone else is in range, Bless Shield, Blaze Charge, Kerrigan combo, and he's dead. Doesn't Liquid get out macroed? Let me look at Liquid's matches because I forget. So Liquid beat Tempo. They won one Genji, but that was because Genji was playing bad. And then they got their free wins. So they got 4 or 5. And then they got... Hold on. Who else did they win against? Okay, so they get 6 free wins, and then they won 1 Genji. So it's hard to really get a read when their only win against the top 2 teams was when Genji was not playing well. Because these are just 6 free wins. So it's kind of hard to read. So this 7-3 is also a bit weaker than this 7-3. Look at this. This hero's free wins for everyone else, or this team. This team's free wins for everyone else except this team. This team's free wins for everyone except these 2 teams. And then this team actually competed a bit. They threw in the Miracle series. Let me refresh myself on the Miracle series. What the drafts were like. Oh yeah, the game 1 they had the lead and they were snowballing decently, and then they made some mistakes. And then this game, they had no idea what they were doing against Mephisto and got snowballed on. I mean, they were fine in this first game. Their macro was mostly fine. They just made 2 pretty decently large mistakes and then lost. Game should be over here for Heroes Hearth, though. It's level 20 with a boss. Even turning doesn't matter. There's no defending this. Boss is too late in the game. Level 20 lead is too much. Upgraded bunker, indestructible. Whatever, Bolt of the Storm, whatever, whichever one Tron talent you feel like taking. They're both OP. They're trying for a YOLO engage. They coon the bunker. Crowan still gets in it after the root ends, and the game's over. Even if they pop out, even if they kill the bunker, 50 armor. Your Phoenix ult does nothing. Your Phoenix ult does nothing. There's a big 5-man burrow from the noob. And then he gets CC'd before he can ever press his E button again. Alright, I mean, yeah, this is just, So it seems like Kerrigan on Tomb and on Infernal Shrines, you can make her work. But you do really need to have either strong chain CC with her combo to reliably either get her combo to hit or to follow up on her combo. And you need a way to keep her alive. Because if you don't have a Blaze Bunker, Tempest just focuses the Kerrigan every fight and she dies. So I understand why they let Phoenix through, because in team fights the Phoenix is a lot weaker. He's a lot more vulnerable to chain CC. He can't ult against the bunker. And that, but I do think it made Tempest's early game a lot stronger. And it might have been, and it's a fair trade-off, either way. Tempest looked awful though. They made a lot of mistakes in team fights. They had no idea how to macro in the first game. and their second game draft was pretty meh too, where they didn't secure any early wave clear. Like, what priority picks did they even get? They got Genji. I don't know, is Genji even priority on Tomb at this point? I'm not sure, because he hasn't looked good in any of the games. So I don't know. Other than that, I mean, they got an Arel over a Blaze, but whatever. They got a noob, but whatever. And they got a Malf under Tyrande. So I feel like Heroes have just got more good heroes, partly, but also a better comp overall. Is this Hommy's first LAN? Yep. Go straight to BlizzCon. Collect your thousands of dollars. All right, let's Oh wow, look at this team farm this other team, even though both teams get farmed by every other team. Wow, good job, team. Good job, team. And I mean, you wonder, why is a team that gets farmed by the team that gets farmed by every other team, even at the tournament? It's interesting. Is this Diggs tournament to lose? We'll see. Genji vs Miracle. Did not watch that yet. After that, I'll make more solid predictions. Whole team's first LAN? What? You talking about Luna Meows? It's not Heroes Heart's first LAN. They were at Western Clash. They were at mid-season. It's first BlizzCon. Sure, but BlizzCon's not different from other LANs, other than getting a lot more food and a lot more just being treated a lot better compared to other LANs. Yeah, it's their first BlizzCon, but that's whatever. It's not. It's a LAN. Maybe there's a bit more pressure. Maybe it's a bit more flashy or whatever. But you still play Heroes of the Storm. You still go there and you play Heroes of the Storm. And maybe there's a bit stronger teams. And maybe there's a bit weaker teams too, because there's some random wildcard teams that are showing up. XD. Playing on better no. The monitors are the same. What? Me at home. This monitor right here is a... Let me see if we can pull it up. This monitor is the same quality as the ones they have there. Now, where do I find it? Display settings. 144 hertz. No, this is the same monitor they have there. Same quality monitor that they have. That any pro player has at home. 144 hertz. I don't even really notice the difference between it, but my team yelled at me repeatedly to get it. No, I was on second monitor. I was using the second monitor for the past 2 years. Doesn't make a difference. It's not. Oh no, the monitor advantage. Blizzard, please send us all monitors so that we can have standardized monitors for HGC. Nice meme. Yeah, I mean, if your resolution's too low, then you are going to only see half the screen at a time. Half of the game at a time. If I had some, like, ridiculously ultra-wide monitor, I bet I could see the entire map. But half of it would be fogged anyway, so it's not relevant. And if it was a big deal, Blizzard would fix it. But it's not. That is not a big deal. .144 Hz is huge in FPS. I don't notice the difference. Honestly, I do not notice the difference between my main monitor and the second one that I was using for the past 2 years. I don't notice a difference. Other players say they do, though. But I don't. Yeah, in FPS. In FPS it matters a lot more too. For sure. It's significantly less of a difference than something like, say, being on West servers compared to Central servers. Yeah, China and Korea are both LAN, so it would be nice to have everybody on LAN. So there's no ping garbage where tempo's on West, so they win significantly more games, even if they are a weaker team. I talked about that last night. If you want to go through the 13-hour VOD, but basically, as we can see at this tournament, tempo is not as strong as their record in North America would make you think. And the reason for that is because they have a ping advantage. On West, for me example, I have 80 to 90 ms on West servers. Tempo has 10 to 15. And if we're on Central, I have 15 to 30 to Central. And Tempo has 30 to 40. It's just a stupid advantage that should not exist in a competitive format. Alright, Thrall ban. That's pretty surprising. Why would you ban Thrall? I guess it's kind of a throwaway ban to say. So Thrall ban is like, so you ban Tyrande, so there's no super priority support up, and then Maya's banned. So Genji is, at this point, Miracle has to choose a ban, and at this point Genji is up, Diablo's up, Garrosh is up. But I guess if you ban Genji, what does Genji do? We'll see, because they ban Genji. Yeah, and if you do not believe me that the ping advantage is significant, go pull up HOTS, click on this, go play Europe servers, go play Asia servers, and come back to me and tell me it is not a massive disadvantage to be playing with that ping. Because my ping to Europe servers is 100 to 120. It is a little bit higher ping than my ping to West servers. Any reasonable solutions? Central server only. Just standardize Central server as the only server for HGC. That's just what it should be. Then at most, a team might have a 20 to 30 ms advantage, at most. Instead of a ridiculous 80 ms advantage. That is just dumb. An 80 ms advantage in a competitive game is ridiculous for a team to have. Yeah. Yeah, or Blizzard could bring in the East Coast servers, so that when Tempo plays against an East Coast server team, they can have 90 ms too. I mean, your internet's terrible then, Glorp. I'm sorry to tell you that. Unless you're in Japan or something. Move to Burbank, yeah. I have no idea, Fohawk Fury. I don't keep track of any of that. I don't care about teams that show up in international events and lose every game. I don't care. I mean, the other thing, too, is that even just the player base being split between Central and West already hurts the game. And hurts the growth of the game in North America. And it's just Central server only, please, Blizzard. Please. That'd be great. Yeah, they should just use the server that's the most fair. That doesn't give a competitive advantage to one team. Yeah, Japan has some really stupid gambling laws, or they did, which killed esports, or prevented any kind of esports growth. And now they're fixing that. Yeah, Central server only. It's just dumb. Yeah, because before, the old laws in Japan were that esports was gambling, and you couldn't just run an esport tournament because it was gambling and illegal, and then they changed that. Alright, so it is Diablo, so Garrosh plus something. Server issue unique to HOTS? I don't know about Overwatch or StarCraft 2. Well, in Overwatch, for Overwatch League, they're on a LAN. They don't play online tournaments. And StarCraft 2, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about StarCraft 2. And yeah, even in... I mean, the ping still matters in StarCraft, but... RTS to MOBA, the MOBA ping matters more. StarCraft 2 has ping issues too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They could put a central server only in StarCraft 2. Or maybe their servers are just bad. I don't know. I mean, it's just, if you want to have the highest level competition, everyone is on 0ms. And if you can't do that, everyone is on the same ping, at the very least. You can't just cut off one team's fingers for half the matches. It's like, okay, I'm playing without my pinky finger. Oh, this is kind of awkward for my hands. This feels kind of awkward. Everything's a bit slower and delayed. Guess I have to deal with it, though, because Blizzard said so. Yeah, I mean, the Central and West servers aren't even very good. They're definitely not very good. On Tournament Realm, the ping is slightly lower, but not by much. It's just the thing where Tempo is second place in standings in NAHEC. And then they come to international events and they perform significantly worse than Heroes Hearth. And I mean, we can pull up. Let's pull up right now. Let's pull up Tempo Storm. Let's pull up their match record. So the team that is on the left is the team with server advantage. So when we played Tempo, we 3-0'd them on central servers. When Tempo played Freedom on West, 3-2, barely. When Tempo plays Heroes Hearth on West, 3-2, barely. When Heroes Hearth plays Tempo on Central, 3-0. When Tempo plays us on West, 3-2. It's just dumb. And we can go back even further. Let's go back phase 1. Heroes Hearth vs Tempo, Central, 3-0. Heroes Hearth vs Tempo, Central, 3-0. Tempo vs Heroes Hearth, West, 3-1. Octalysis, 3-2. 3-2. You can just see the results right here. There is a big difference. Freedom vs Tempo, 3-2. Where's Tempo vs Freedom? 3-1. You can just see it. The evidence is very clearly here. If you know about it, if you know that this means that this team has server advantage, then you can just look at the match record, and it's right there. You can just see. How does that even get fixed? They make it so that HGC North America is only played on the central servers, because that is fair. Then Tempo will have 30 to 40 ping at most, and everyone else has maybe, if they're close to central servers, 10 to 15. But most people also have 30 to 40 ping to central. And then everything's fair. That's it. It's really simple. Or yeah, just delete West server and make central server invest the resources that are in central server, or in West server to central server. What's the reason for not doing it? I don't know. I'm going to send them an email right now. I'm sending them an email asking why central servers aren't standardized. Yeah, and it hurts queue times too. Because the player base is divided between Central and West. Yeah, whatever the response is, I'll put it public. I'm gonna take the email that I just sent, and I'll just make a tweet and ask people to retweet it. Gonna need to figure out how to make it fit on Twitter. Maybe make a tweet longer. Hold on. Alright. Here it is. Big HOTS amount? No idea. None of the pros know anything that you don't know. There is no information we get in advance of anyone else. Sprayable banners? Yeah, that's the meme. Alright, let's get back to the analysis. Yep. That's what it feels like sometimes, what doth life. If they even respond. That's the best part. When they don't respond, so that's their implied response to it. It's a good one. Always feels great to be valued and respected. Alright, back to this. So, Garrosh plus something else. Tehran's banned. Genji might have banned. Kerrigan could be played at some point, later picked, if they have the Blaze or the double support protector. Okay, Blaze Raynor. So they're accepting that Garrosh will probably get banned here. Or maybe Garrosh is just lower priority on this map because of the minions. And Alonzo Deckard, sure. Miracle's gonna ban out Arel most likely to deny offlane. And Genji sacrificed that. They prioritize the Zeratul. Alright. So they're giving Genji Irrel, if they want it. I guess they're just scared of the APOC VP combo. They should put Deckard into Overwatch. Yeah, see how they like it. Kerrigan. Alright. So the Kerrigan is actually banned. So she is a spooky hero when she does have the added protection and tankiness from a bunker. So Malf and White Mane are the two main supports here. Maybe Alexstrasza. Garrosh is still up. And then Miracle's last pick can be Flex. Can't be a Thrall. Maybe Phoenix would get picked, because that's the good range left over. An Ana. Wow. Medivh going through? Yeah, Medivh actually went through. I mean, Genji could pick it here. Or neither of these teams wants to play it or show it in the group stage. Because Medivh Diablo, it was good a year ago, and it's still pretty insane. Especially with Diablo and Medivh both being stronger than they were back then. Is he not Prio? He is Prio. Korea doesn't really play Medivh? I don't know. Why wouldn't they go Alex? I mean, they wanted Ana. I don't know what they want the Ana for, because you don't want Li Ming on this map. And then the Jaina got denied. So who else do you Nana boost? A Kel'Thas? Kel'Thuzad? You're not Nana boosting a Raynor. You're not Nana boosting a Blaze or an Anub. A Valera? Does Valera even use a Nana boost well when she uses energy? I don't know. I don't know what the Ana is. White Mane non-pick? No, she was picked a bit, and I think she is underpicked. I think she's at least as strong as the supports like Deckard and Malf. And it's surprising it's Mephisto. Alright then. It's for Medivh. Nano Medivh is not enough to win a fight. If you Nano Medivh, then you still have to have somebody that you can spam Protect on to get value, and there isn't. I don't know, this is weird. This is weird. I guess they don't have a ton of targeted damage to put on the Mephisto when he blinks in. And they don't have something like a Nubrak Cocoon to stasis him and eat his W. Or eat his E. Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing, is if you make someone immune to damage for the duration of the CC, they might as well not have been CC'd. So yeah, it does actually act very similarly to Cleanse in terms of counteracting crowd control. So, early game, Genji should be... And they have the Diablo, but they have the Jaina. And Diablo Jaina together has been really strong. Irel's going to win against Blaze. Camp Clear definitely is in favor of Genji. So even if they aren't winning the rotate and going even in it, they're still going to be able to do camp significantly faster. It's Infernal Shrines. That's another issue for Miracle, is that they don't have a good Shrine Clear hero to secure skulls, whereas Genji has quite a few. Where Hanzo can secure them from range and steal them away from Miracle, who can't last hit, and then Jaina secures close range, and so does Irel. So they're basically, it's just all about Mephisto doing things, and he went this Q quest again, so we'll see when he finishes it. Because this is, if he does finish it, the full 40 stacks, to get 3-second cooldown reduction on his Q, it's really, really strong. But if he doesn't, then it's a wasted talent. Gul'dan is bad as an Ana target? Yeah, he's not good. You just walk away from him. Okay, so yeah, Genji's winning the rotate early. They're sending Mephisto top and a Nubrak, but they're not coordinated with that, and Mephisto showed. It's kind of random. So Raynor's getting left bottom. Jaina's coming mid to clear this. Or not. Is she saving Blizzard for a camp? What's the plan here? Because she could have cleared that if she wanted to. Or maybe she was scared. Maybe Blaze, with Blaze not being there. Oh no, yeah. Slightly too scary to blizzard that. I think she could have blizzarded it and walked away. Blaze already used 1 oil. And she's got most of her team there. Because now her team has to clear this wave out, and that's annoying. She's able to run Nano Falstad? No. Did they patch that? I don't know. I think they only patched it with the 16 talent, not his other stuff. So now suddenly Genji is way behind on their rotations because Jaina never cleared this mid wave, so Miracle cleared it ahead of them with Blaze out-rotating Rel. In exchange for that, at the very least, Arel got some push and maybe denied some minions here. But now Miracle got this camp out because they pushed out this wave first, and all that Genji got was clearing out this wave maybe? I don't even know if they cleared it. Because you would expect the team with the Jaina to have at least the camp clear advantage, even if they're not clearing the waves faster. And again, Blaze is getting to... Did Blaze fast clear this? Or did Arel... Okay, so this time Arel went to soak mid. Or did she not? This is really random by Arel. Where on the second wave, Blaze was the one that ended up getting to mid to help clear, rather than Arel. And now Blaze is clearing top ahead of her. So now Blaze is getting to go mid again ahead of her. This should be the Arel that's doing this, not the Blaze. Because the Blaze has not been punished for doing this either. He's not lost anything. Miracle comp, they're pretty much all in on a nano boosted Mephisto to win, because they don't have any shrine clear. Whereas Genji has a ton of shrine clear. Alright, both teams on knights. Jaina's low on mana, and she is actually going to be a bit late to the shrine. And I don't think she even got full mana there. I think she's going to be at 2/3 mana coming back. Yeah. But, I mean, here's going to be the big thing, is Mephisto's going to go in and try and hit some people with spells, and then, meanwhile, all of the skulls are going to go to Genji. And Miracle's still... I mean, I don't know. Miracle, should they even be contesting this shrine? Is this the night camp timing that causes this? Because this night camp dies to the wall. Well, look, like, they have 7 skulls. And it's not like they're getting poked out by Mephisto. They're not. They get a catch on a rel. Here's Diablo Spell Shield getting value. I mean, is Arel overextended here? Oh, or her jump is on cooldown. I see. So they focus her down. It's a good interrupt by the Rainer Q. So they punish Arel really hard. Is she overextended here? So her backline gets zoned out a bit by the Mephisto, and that's the issue. She's pretty far up even just doing that. And then, yeah, she gets punished. So Arel overextends slightly. But then as the fight breaks down, Diablo's able to tank a ridiculous amount with his spell shield. Can they do something else? They could push top. Right here. They have this night camp already at the wall. If they just right here. Just take your Rainer, go hit the top wall. Or take your Mephisto, go push down here. Because I feel like it should not be possible for them to win this shrine. This should not be possible. Hanzo Q, Irel jumps, Jaina spells. What do they have? They have Blaze Fire. And Mephisto happening in to do some damage at some point. And like Rainer can auto attack minions, that's it. I mean, because the fight started off almost perfectly for them, where they just kill Irel for very little. That night camp got the entire wall. That's pretty good. And now this is an Arcane Punisher. And yeah, this is the thing, where if Miracle chose to, they could have traded this wall here by pushing with this night camp. And then they would be even, at least. But now, they didn't clear out Genji's night camp, and their night camp got no value, so they lost top wall. Then they lost the fight, and then they're going to lose this wall, so they're just going to be behind instead of trading. Okay, Mephisto's in a very bad spot. That E forward was maybe greedy. So there's Rainer with 25 armor. Risky forward. And a noob died too. Oh boy. This is good by Genji, forcing down the fort while 2 heroes are dead. Not in a rush to go back to their lanes. And when they do, they're even going to get out Merc camps along the way. Steal that. And that's a full level lead. What's Mephisto stacks at? I have no idea. I can't see it. Yeah. I mean, it is a thing when you're playing Mephisto. You do just want to hit your spells on heroes, because then you get more spells, and that is cool. But the fight started really badly for them. With Rainer getting Deckard comboed with the slow, and then a noob had to burrow in, and the noob was dying, and then Mephisto ended up dying too. And Genji snowballing this really well. Double camp mid, push bottom, get level 10, this entire fort will probably die. One thing maybe you could say is maybe they should push top instead of bottom, but they do have the camps in position here because they were doing this camp, this camp, this camp, so they're in better position on the map to do this rather than push top. So yeah, and just push the fort with your level 10 advantage. Nothing the enemy team can do about it. At least until you start face tanking. Then they can maybe fight you, but that point's too late. Tornado on Deckard. So no sleep Ring of Frost combo. Wouldn't be that effective anyway against Blaze and the noob. And Anna can cleanse the sleep at 13 if she gets stun removal, I think. Okay, both teams getting knights, holding it for when the shrine spawns. And here's the shrine spawn. So Genji's up a level, but this is still an even-ish fight for Miracle. But Mephisto needs to do something insane. Otherwise, I still don't know what they do. And this shrine is also more favorable for Genji because they can leave Irel here on the shrine and leave 4 heroes outside of the shrine. And if Miracle funnels onto the shrine, then their Anna is in a very vulnerable spot. Because if Anna needs to heal someone here, she has to be here, or in the shrine, and then that's really bad. So Anna has to be out here. Which means that Irel gets to 1v1 Blaze here, and win that. Favorite Hotscaster? Probably Kaldor. Mephisto not even the problem? I mean, the problem is they can't control a shrine. They can't do anything about the shrine. They're just sitting and waiting for the enemy team to all stand on top of each other so Mephisto can go ham. And that's not going to happen when nobody else is putting pressure on them. They finally bring Rainer onto the shrine at 30 skulls. Alright, there goes Mephisto with his W hitting nothing. Okay. I mean, and again, Miracle going into this, all the way back to here, they should know, we're coming to the shrine. If we aren't finding an engage, if we just sit here and go AFK for the next 2 minutes, we lose the shrine. and then they sit here and go AFK for the next 2 minutes. They could be split pushing here. They could push mid with a big wave here. They could go and push bottom, and at least trade. Because then Genji will push up here and maybe take this fort, and they'll trade it for another fort. And that's at least okay. But they're sitting here and doing nothing, and Genji is getting this for free. Because they just sit here for 2 minutes. Did Blaze get PvE auto attacks? No. Made the camera a little bit smaller so we can see all of Anna's stuff. There. So now what is the question for Miracle? Like, great job, you padded your Raynor and Zanana's stats and your Mephisto's stats. Now what? Random Mephisto ult from Fog? Okay. That was the plan? And you couldn't at least do that a minute ago? Sure. Could Deckard get that out earlier? He wasn't in range, really. Whatever. Alright. Genji's getting baited into a fight. Kind of. But they have a Punisher, so... I mean, alright, there's a nanoed Mephisto. Wow, look at that enemy team just melt. Wow. That damage is so impressive that even a Deckard can heal through it. I mean, you'd think Miracle, if they already know that they're worse mechanically or not better mechanically than Genji, they wouldn't just sit here and try to smash their face into Genji. But I guess that's just how Koreans play the game. Like, what? Do they just pick 5 random heroes and then sit on the objective as 5 and smash their faces into each other? And then that's how they play? They could have gotten Nova and spam snipes? No. Nova would get instantly killed by anything. I mean, in every team comp, no matter how it is, one team is going to be happy, more happy at least, sitting there doing nothing, even if it can be close. But in this case, Genji is happy just sitting there doing nothing on the shrine. Just go AFK for 2 minutes, let Aurel press E a few times, and then the shrine's cleared. What does Mephisto ever do for a team fight? He has a lot of AoE damage. Especially with Nano. If he can get resets. But not when you just sit there and do nothing and the enemy team has a Punisher under your fort and you're getting engaged on. Hard to play from behind? Yeah, but the way you don't get behind as Miracle is you don't show up to the first shrine as 5. You go and split push something. Because you show up to the shrine as 5 with the worst team comp for the shrine, and then you lose it, and then you're surprised, and then you're down a level, because the Punisher pushes this entire thing. And then you come to the second shrine, and you again do nothing, and then the Punisher kills you for it, and then you're surprised. And then you're like, oh, this comp, why are we 2 levels behind? Mephisto doesn't have Horrify? How do you Horrify these heroes? You just get queued on by Diablo and die instantly. Alright. Genji's just doing whatever they want at this point, honestly. That tornado could have been better, but... Miracle has done nothing this entire game. There was even a Hanzo engage. It's a nice arrow onto the Ana. Diablo wasn't quite in range of focus. Alright. Nano Mephisto, go 1v5. Oh. Well, now what? Now what do? We have this Ana, who's basically strictly worse than Deckard, because he has the better CC, and the heal reduction still, and the better healing output, and better damage, with 13. And the hero we picked to Nano isn't doing anything. No, Consume Souls does no damage to these heroes. And you don't want to channel it while you're being nano boosted and going into the fight. With Consume Souls, you want to be in the back, just sitting there, ulting while your Genji and your Tracer dive on a backliner. But they don't have that. What they want to do is just sit there and let Mephisto do a ton of sustained damage. And if he hits the ult on somebody, like even just a tank, just keep them rooted for 2.5 seconds. That's great. Oh wow, Miracle finally gets the idea to trade push, but now they're already 2 levels behind. And their Mephisto's gonna die. Maybe not. Alright. Wow, what a revolutionary idea there, Miracle. No one's ever done that before in the history of Heroes of the Storm. If only you could have done that 10 minutes ago. Then you might be okay in this game. So this is a Frozen Punisher, but with this wall already gone, it could be a keep. Depends how aggressively Genji play it, because Jaina does have to walk up to do damage, and so does Hanzo to do damage to the keep. Because the Frozen Punisher isn't going to do damage to the keep. Doesn't do any damage. Okay, they're just fully going in. Ana went, I think that's slow and root removal with move speed. Zera a bad pick for Miracle or was banned? Zera was banned by Miracle because they wanted to deny the APOC VP combo. Alright, well this is just so disrespectful by Genji. They're just trolling. This is just dumb. Luckily Diablo's tanky. It's his second spell shield of the fight. So, I mean, why are you doing this instead of going around? Hanzo went around. Rich is the only one that went around, instead of doing whatever the hell this was. What? Jaina Blue blows every cooldown on a small wall, and then just gets pounded against the wall here. I mean, here's the value of the Mephisto ult, where it CCs some people and does some damage. But it's just Genji trolling. I mean, did Genji mechanically outplay Miracle this game? No. They just sat there and won every single shrine for free. And Miracle sat there and lost every shrine for free. That's been this game. No, yeah, Mephisto's not good shrine clear. They outdrafted? Miracle could have played this draft. They could maybe have tried to get a team fight at level 10 if they weren't behind 2 levels for the entire game. But they were, because they just sat here with 5 heroes on this shrine, doing nothing. And then they sat here with 5 heroes on this shrine, doing nothing, instead of soaking lanes, instead of split pushing, keeping up in experience. Could have taken Murky. If you're just gonna go AFK and do nothing, just go AFK in your fountain. Don't even show up to the tournament. Yeah, this is making me think. I mean, Genji's doing their job, which is to sit there and do nothing until Miracle does something. It's just that Miracle's doing nothing, so Genji's also doing nothing and winning. And then they're trolling. I mean, Miracle has a level 17 versus 19 fight here. They're down a wall and a well. But at least they get to smash their faces into Genji, for once. Alright, yes, blow all your cooldowns on the Irel without any follow-up. And then... I mean, that's a decent shield. I don't even think this Mephisto's good. Like, so you're Mephisto here, and then you get pulled back to here, and you've got all your cooldowns up, because you're nanoed. And then instead of blinking to, like, here, to get your W on everybody, he blinks here, and his W hits nothing. Like, my Mephisto's better than that. 100%. Okay. That wasn't interesting to watch at all either. Nobody did anything. What? Best team fight ever. Team fighters ever though. But Genji just won a game without ever team fighting. If Heroes Hearth was playing that comp against Miracle, they would have won the game. Tempo was playing that comp against Miracle, they probably would have won the game. Put any major region team in the tournament other than Beyond the Game against Miracle playing those same comps, and they win the game still. Genji did nothing. They did literally nothing that entire game. Because Miracle did literally nothing that entire game. Alright, that Aurel ban might telegraph a first pick offlane. Genji still wants to ban Maiev though, so they might have to just take it. So so I'm guessing the Aurel ban is to pick Dahaka. And then because the Aurel would win against Dahaka, but Blaze loses to Dahaka, so then you have the global and you have the offlane advantage, unless the enemy team picks something else like a Malthael. Garrosh. But why? Is Diablo not priority on this map? That might be a thing. Nobody's picking offlane. Okay. Do they pick the Dahaka now? With, like, a Rainer? Sure. I feel like the pick order could have been different, and you could swap this Dahaka for this Garrosh, maybe? Maybe Garrosh? I don't know. It seems like the Garrosh should be traded for Dahaka, and this team should not get both of them. You need to win the solo lane in Dragonshire? No. It just makes it a lot easier to play the game if you win the solo lane. There's a Phoenix ban. That's kind of surprising, seeing a Phoenix ban instead of Thrall. Because again, Phoenix is vulnerable to any kind of chain CC stuff, and Phoenix would fulfill the same role as Thrall with sitting mid, being the mid clear. Though he does have faster wave clear than Thrall, so Phoenix with Garrosh would be able to rotate out of mid, whereas Thrall, Garrosh would not. Maybe Blaze ban, it'd be kind of useless though. Maybe just ban a tank. Jaina ban. Sure. Seems to lose most matchups? No, he's fine against Blaze. He's fine against everything but Aurel. Okay, so it seems like Diablo's just not a priority. Maybe Genji takes the Thrall. Oh, they do go Malthael. Okay. So yeah, no Garrosh or no Diablo priority. So they've got a noob. They've got Malthael for the offlane. If you wanted to punish the Malthael off lane, you could go a Valera or a Zeratul, or you could just go Anna, Li Ming, sure. But now your wave clear kind of sucks in the 4-man, and you don't just get to have team fights with your nano boost on this map, because it's more about rotations and smaller skirmishes. Which, I mean, a nano boost Li Ming is still pretty decent in a 2v2, but I don't know if that's enough. Okay. Alarak into these heroes seems awful. Raynor and Li Ming both can immediately stop your Q. If you pull in Li Ming and Q her, she blinks out before the silence hits. If you pull in Raynor and try and Q, he Qs you and interrupts it. So, I don't like the Alarak into these matchups. Ana picks are bad. I mean, last game it could have been fine. This game I don't think it's good. This game I think it's pretty bad, because now she's a really vulnerable target to a noob. Plus Hans Waltz. And she was already vulnerable last game to Hans Waltz. Rich on Alarak, keep in mind. So, the last time I picked Alarak, which was on Volskaya, he didn't do anything insane either. Just sat there and pressed E a bunch. Mephisto pick last game was bad. I think it could work if they actually knew how to macro. But they sat there and did nothing for the first 20 minutes of the game, and then their core died. Yeah, he already played Alarak once. It wasn't anything insane. Like, all of the clips you see of Rich Alarak is in Hero League against bad players, where you can just do whatever you want against them. And same thing with Garrosh. If you try to combo Garrosh, if he reacts quickly enough, he can just throw you into his team, and then your W is down, your Q is interrupted, and then you die. And Dahaka can burrow it. So unless you're getting Alarak combos on the Ana, you don't actually do anything with this hero. This is just worse than a Thrall. So Miracle, well, Genji early game is going to be pretty weak until they get Hanzo level 4 for more wave clear. He actually went Q level 1, which is interesting. Yeah, Rich plays Thrall, Resec plays Thrall. They can play Thrall. Trash wave clear? No, both teams don't have great wave clear. So it balances out more. Li Ming has okay wave clear as long as she can get the angle for a W. Raynor's wave clear is decent. Alalak's wave clear is meh. Hanzo's wave clear gets better at level 4. They're going on Garrosh, but he should be fine. Did Hawk actually dig there? Or did he walk? I know, he walked. Okay. So here's a Dahaka on the flank, but there's not the follow-up. They're blocking the Garrosh throw with a noob. Okay. I mean, both teams' wave clear is mediocre. Both teams are going to have to commit a lot of time. Okay, how does this happen? So, because Dahaka left top, or actually no, Dahaka wouldn't win against Malthael anyway, so Dahaka's going to lose top, but then they were so delayed by this fighting here in the triangle that they couldn't get to bottom in time after finishing this camp, because the capture points spawn at a minute 30, and the camp spawn at a minute. So they should have had 30 seconds to clear this out, and then get to the capture point. And Genji, they just step on both points right as they spawn, and nobody shows up in time to stop them. Okay. So, gets one tower mid, going top. It is pretty nice to get the wall top against Dahaka, so that you can start pushing in night camps. The wall defends the night camp a lot better than the fort. Because the Dahaka can stay safe under the wall, whereas under the fort he can get dove. Okay, and Li Ming just dies. Why is she rotating here? So you're Li Ming. You were bottom lane. You cleared out the wave, you went to go mid or something. So you're going mid, then you say, no, I'm going back bottom. And then what are you doing? You have 3 heroes top. And you don't see anyone on the enemy team. So why are you here? What do you expect? You know Alarak's bottom. You know Hanzo's mid. You don't know where Anub is. Malthael might be top. He's already rotating. And you don't know where Anub is. Is Anub... And then you're surprised. And now your team's gonna get farmed. Now you're down a level. And this wall is dead. So this night camp is going to get a lot more value. And while this night camp is happening, Malthael might even just leave and go do bottom night camp. Okay. Or you can defend this night camp 1v2. And they push bottom with a siege camp. Why is Dahaka down here actually? When did Dahaka come down here? Did you just walk all the way down? Okay, so Miracle wants to push top with their Rainer, so they swap their global to the opposite side. Problem is Malthael will defend that better than Dahaka will defend this. What? I feel like these teams might have just agreed to not play super seriously and just do some random stuff. Some of these rotations are really random. But, okay. It's a 2-for-1 or something. 1-for-1. And Dahaka has to find a way to get all the way top after digging bottom. Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing, is both Miracle and Tempest basically sat there and did nothing, while their comp that needed them to do something proactive, and then they lost. So, Genji's gonna have a level 10 timing. With Dahaka being top by himself, as long as they keep someone watching this rotate here, so Garrosh doesn't sneak up here and gank the Malthael while he's holding top point, then it should just be a DK. Dahaka might not even be on this in time. Okay, he barely was, but he should get pushed off now. Genji starting the collapse up to top in case there's a fight. Hanzo ult the Rainer, who's making another weird rotate. Again, your Rainer. There's your Garrosh, who doesn't have ally throw. There's your rotate, and you rotate. Look at this. You can choose. You can rotate here, or you can rotate here. And they're both the same speed. But one of them... And then you even see the Anub. He's not even watching the screen. While he's rotating unsafely. Even if he doesn't die. Hanzo just walk into Garrosh. Hanzo just walks into Garrosh. He walks into Garrosh twice. Is that baiting? Or is that just feeding? Ana on tier list of supports, tier 3. Under Tehran's tier 1, tier 2 is Malf, Whitemane, Deckard, and Alex Raza on Infernal Shrines, and then tier 3 is the rest of them. Other than, like, Medic. Medic's tier 4. Yeah, Alarak was capping deep K. Because he was down here, and then he saw Li Ming mid, I think. Or he just started, he was halfway in between mid and bot, so he saw that his team was 4-manning, rotating top, so he went to go DK. It's whatever. No, Tehran is 1. Malf is 2. That's why they were okay to... No, Hanzo just walked into a... They had the DK whether or not Hanzo ints there. Not... Hanzo inting is irrelevant. Yeah, Li Ming's seen mid, so Alarak goes mid because he wins the 1v1. And then Hanzo walks into Garrosh twice, and then ints. What? I mean, he sees the Garrosh. Literally, he could right-click on his fountain and go AFK for the next 10 seconds, and then they still get the DK. Just does nothing. Yeah. 2-minute DK, people just walking into Garrosh, people just making really silly rotations. while their team's on the opposite side of the map. Okay. So Dahaka Dig comes in. He gets slept. Nothing you can do about it. If you burrow it, you're still CCing yourself. Cocoon even goes down. So I mean, that's a decent cooldown trade for Miracle, where they got sleep and Cocoon, and they get successful defense. Still down a full level. Still have a lot of forts that are really low, and as soon as this fort dies, it's even further of a lead. Look at this. Good job, Malthael. You don't know where the enemy team is? Playing safe. Sit on your mount. Look at this. Top tier play right here. Do this. Don't be in here auto-attacking. Sure, good job. You know you win the 1v1 against Dahaka. You lose the 3v1. Because you don't know where the enemy team is. Great job. That's what I expect from off-lane players. This is why Garrosh is broken, so that when you walk into the enemy team's tank, you die? Sure. Sure. Yeah, safely soaking. What a novelty. Never seen that before this entire tournament. I mean, he's just gonna get dove. And that's why it's nice to have the wall down, so that you can dive that. Even though your night camp wasn't quite there yet. You have a noob. This fort's gone. How slow is Miracle react to this? Oh, they were looking to go top to counter gank this. They were kind of expecting this, but they were too late. And now they're 4-manning, map hacked. Dahaka dug top off his respawn, which is delaying Genji's DK, but if Genji keeps vision on these 4 here, then Malthael's free to 1v1 Dahaka here. Because now, look at that. Look at that, walking up when you see the enemy team, and staying safe when you don't. Revolutionary. Ammo back to towers, spice up the solo lane. I think it just makes Irel and Blaze and Dahaka even more dominant, not less. Because it rewards having instant wave clear even more. Which is already too high of a priority, because being able to double soak is almost mandatory for an offlaner on most maps. I mean, good setup on the map, good rotations by Genji. Good use of vision arrow to scout. Just get the DK, no risk, with your 13 advantage, turn it into a 2-level land advantage, and then snowball the game from there. Looks like they don't even want to slow siege bottom yet. Maybe they'll get camps out. Time a double siege camp. With your 16 talent. Okay, they got a night camp top instead. That's fine. Maybe bot knights. Bit late on the bot knights, but they're setting up a bottom lane push. Li Ming ints. And there, as you can see, I mean, Li Ming's inting. She sees Alarak here, and she's in this bush. So okay, she's fine here. All this Li Ming has to do is go up instead of down, and then she lives. She literally has a choice. Where do you click with your mouse? Up you live, down you die. And she decides to feed. She even sees, you even see the rest of their team. They just capped this night camp and you see two or three other heroes. You just inted. You just inted, no excuse. That's just a stupid death. And that's a keep, guaranteed now. My Miracle didn't contest that. Contest what? The DK? Because they were down 13. And whenever they tried to set up in a bush, they got scouted. I mean, alright. Garrosh so late on the reaction here. So he knows he's phase checking the bush, so he should be ready that CC will be coming at him. And then the Q misses, and then he doesn't even react to the Alarak combo to unstoppable it. And you just should. If you want to be the best player in the world, the best team in the world, you can't just be getting Alarak combo as a Garrosh when you have cooldowns to counter it. So then he's going to get one shot. I mean, it's a good bush setup from Genji, where the wave was pushing in mid, so Miracle had no vision. And they didn't know for sure that all of Miracle was top, but they assumed it because no one was clearing bottom, and no one's clearing mid. So that's just logical guess, where most likely the enemy team could be here. If Miracle wanted to be risky, they could have tried to sneak in here, and try to get through here, done something insane like that, and maybe it would have worked. But they did the more predictable, the more safe, low-risk thing, and then when they end up in this more high-risk situation, where, again, they don't know who's in these bushes. This Rainer face check even is really risky. This Rainer face check could have just been him instantly dying. He doesn't use any ability to scout it. See, look at that. Hanzo's scouting this bush with his W. That is discipline. That is high-level play. Is doing that instead of using your face. And then they Ana check these bushes, which is good. And then with the Hanzo checking the bush with the W, now there's a Malthael in it. And there's nothing Ana can do about any of that. Malthael heal reduction, too. Hanzo ult, sleep. The fight's already over. As soon as Garrosh is dead before the fight starts, you're 2 levels ahead. 2 levels ahead in a 5v4. Enemy team had no counter to you using some of your cooldowns early. Now Miracle's going to save Garrosh from the one-shot by him pressing his unstoppable button and then turning with a taunt. Did he even get taunt off? Right as he died, he gets his taunt off. And the taunt ends when he dies. Imagine right here, he unstoppables and taunts these 3 instead of throwing the Anub. Just taunt all 3 of these. Malthael's taunted, Alarak taunted, Anub taunted. Then suddenly, this fight could be winnable. But he doesn't. And I mean, that's a hard thing to do, to react that quickly, but it's also, you should be expecting it even as you walk into this bush. And then after an Anubarak Q misses you, you should 100% be expecting it, because you were in the bush and you saw the entire enemy team. I mean, neither of the other 2 Korean teams looked great. And Genji, it's hard to tell, because they never had to do anything. They never had to do anything to win those games. Li Ming was late? Yeah, Li Ming was clearing bottom. So she was a bit late. Maybe they could have waited a little bit longer on that rotation for Li Ming to be more in range. Either from the mid lane or over the wall on the night camp, but... Can't taunt... No, I'm not saying to taunt while silenced. I'm saying that there is a delay between the Alarak's W that pulls you in and his Q. And in that delay, you press your 4 talent, the Unstoppable, so you don't get silenced, and then you taunt. And then your team turns the fight. And it's not even that hard reaction time, because the gap in CC between the W and the Q is at least 0.3 of a second. At least. Maybe a CD? Probably. I mean, it could be. There's no way for me to check, but I don't think so. Yeah, Unstoppable protects from everything. But I'm not saying to react to the Alarak W. All that I'm saying is react to the Alarak Q. Hard to win even with that because of Ming's position. Yeah, they could have checked to the bush with an Ana Q. They could have done that too. They could have thrown an Ana grenade at it. They could have done a lot of things rather than face check into the bush and then not even be ready to defensive cooldown. Just walk into the bush and then sit there and die as they CC you. When you're a hero that has counterplay to it. I mean, if he was a Muradin, then you walk into that bush, you get chain CC'd, there's nothing you can do. But you're not a Muradin, you're a Garrosh. You have a ton of OP cooldowns to use. I mean, they gave away a 2-minute DK this game. In the last game, they sat there and did nothing. And this game, I mean, they got snowballed on after the 2-minute DK. Seed position changed during this game? No. Well, they could have been first if they won either of these 2 games. Miracle could have been first seed. So it changed because they went 0-2. So yes. Yep, if they had won a single game, they were first seed because Genji dropped a game to Liquid. So, Genji versus the 1, Genji wins. Miracle versus Tempest, I don't know. They both look pretty meh. I mean, here's the thing, with these groups, this is not a 9-1. This is actually a 3-1. And this is a 2-2. and this is a 1 and 3, because these three teams are just 6 free wins for these three teams. So 3-1, 2-2, 1 and 3. And then say at least this. So this is an 8 and 0, this is a 5 and 3, this is 3 and 5, 3 and 5, 1 and 7. Every single top 4 team has really inflated stats if you just look at these, the win-loss, because of these teams, these three teams. Yeah. If Miracle had won one of those games, they would be first seed, they would play against the 1 in quarters, and then the other thing is that Gen G is second seed, they would play against Tempest, and the winner of that would play Dig. And again, that is proper playoff seeding. As I talked about before with the midseason brawl, that is proper playoff seeding, where you expect the first seed to beat the 4th seed. So then you set up the second match to expect the 2nd seed to beat the 3rd seed, so that your expectation is first seed plays 2nd seed in semifinals. As we can see right here. First seed, you expect to win. 2nd seed, you expect to win. Therefore, you expect 2 different groups to play against each other in semis. That's how you properly seed a bracket. First seed wins, 2nd seed wins, expectation, therefore different groups. If you swap these two and these two, suddenly you would have Dignitas playing against Heroes Hearth, and they were in the same group. And that's not good. That's not how you properly seed a bracket. What's going on with Tempo Storm? Nothing. They beat these 2 teams, and they lost to these 3 teams. That was Tempo Storm in the groups. They either ran main tank Uther or they ran a Nubarak Greymane, and both of those comps did nothing. HHE vs Dig finals? I mean, it could be. Because this team's macro, shit. This team's macro, shit. This team's macro, not sure. But if Heroes Hearth just gets out-team fought, just smashes their face into these teams and then loses, then that could happen. But if Heroes Hearth does stuff like the Abathur Soul Support comp on towers, then they can easily beat these teams. Easily. These teams just sit there and do nothing against that comp, and would do nothing against similar comps on other maps too. Yeah, I think they can beat TL. I think they're like very slightly favored in that matchup. But these 2 teams just sat there and did nothing in the 2 biggest matches they had in the group stage. I mean, that's it for analysis today, because there's only 4 matches. Again, I don't know why the schedule is as it is, where the first 2 days have a ton of matches, and have double broadcast matches at the same time, with one match not even be commentated. And then you go down to the weekend, when people have more time to even watch these matches, and suddenly there's only 6 and 4 matches. I don't know why that is a thing. I don't know why there are matches that are not even being commentated. Ask Blizzard. Send them an email. Or a tweet. No. Semifinals is best of 3. Best of 3, best of 5, best of 5. There's no best of 7. Can't fit that in a 2-day event. BlizzCon format Omega LOL. Pretty much. Tempest sandbagged to avoid upper bracket versus Gen G. I mean, instead of going against Gen G, they have to beat Miracle and then go against Dig. So it's not any better. Because they already know they lose to Dig. They don't know that they lose to Gen G. Yep, best of 5 finals. It's a 2-day event. You can't just have a 2-day event and expect to have a competitive format for your competitive tournament. It's just not possible. Hasn't been possible for the past every single year that BlizzCon has been run. They want BlizzCon to be a 2-day event, and the end result is that every single tournament, not just HOTS, every single tournament is going to be shrunk and be less competitive and be just less. You hate best of 7 finals? I think it's really interesting because every map gets played, or other than the 2 that are banned. And in this case, it would be Braxis plus another map, and then every map gets played, and I think that's really cool. Because it really forces teams to be a lot more flexible and a lot more diverse with their strategies and what they can play. Because if you just play a best of 5, you could just play 3 teamfight maps, where the Korean team just smashes their face into you and wins, and then you never play a macro map. They never have to bring out a different strategy. They just sit there and smash their face into you. And just never use any strategy. Don't think it's reasonable to ask players to go for that long. I think it's reasonable. Players, there have been best of 7s before. Yeah, I mean, they could do these quarterfinals. Like, what they could have done in the schedule is start on Wednesday, all of the groups, and then squish all of the groups into... So do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every single group match, break day on Saturday, quarterfinals Sunday. They could do that, and then just have semifinals, finals for BlizzCon. They could do that. They'd have to pay for an extra day at their initial venue, wherever that is, for Wednesday. Did I talk predictions already? Yeah, so the one loses unless they cheese. This is pretty even, maybe very slightly favors Heroes Hearth. Tempo loses unless they cheese. Both these teams suck at macro, so they're just going to smash their face into each other, and then see whose skull is thicker. Yeah, they own that venue. They don't even pay for it, so it wouldn't even cost them anything. Nice meme. Yeah, I'd love to see Dig and Genji go best of 7 on every single map, other than Braxis and one other map. That'd be great. That would be great. Unfortunately, that is not reality. Wasn't reality last year, wasn't reality this year. Can look at some Reddit stuff. Some 4chan stuff, whatever. Yeah, mid-season brawl is a better format. Yep. Yeah, they're gonna get. There's no way Braxis is in the competitive map pool for next year. It's going to be replaced by some map. I don't know which map, but it'll be. There's no way it's staying in. With their most recent changes they made to it, they made it even worse than it was. Fan best player in the world, easy game. Yep. Alright, that was pretty boring. Crazy the level of synergy they have. What? That's a random statement to make when there was literally a fight where your Hanzo jumps away from your bunker. And then you say they have crazy levels of synergy. Not sure about that one. I mean, he played Blaze fine, but delicious flank plays. Jeez. Delicious flank plays. The announcer said they had synergy. Neat. Talk about cheese strats. Just pick some stupid heroes like Murky or Lost Vikings or Samuro, and just do some dumb split push. Don't team fight because you're gonna get outplayed mechanically. Don't draft standard stuff because you're just going to lose straight up. Just have to accept BlizzCon timing restraints are gonna make a subpar event. I mean, I guess. I mean, we can expect more from Blizzard. We can tell them what we think and hope that they do something about it. Okay. Blaze stuns are key. He had fine blaze stuns. He didn't have anything insane. He followed up on the chain CC, or he stunned in a Nubrak that burrowed in. There was never any disgusting blaze stun on 4 heroes or something. Yeah, I saw the fan response. I don't believe that, honestly. I don't believe that he has that high ping. He says he has 80 to 90 ping to Central, and I don't believe that. I would like to see real proof of that. All Korean teams didn't give a crap about NA. I mean, sure, if you don't care about coming out of your group as second seed, then just go and troll. Go and be garbage. That's fine. Tempo Storm tried to cheese an epic fail against Genji? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Double broadcasted game. Best of 2 is fine. Best of 2 is fine for a group stage, but the double broadcast without commentators, the fact that the matches on the second stream haven't even been uploaded yet is pretty insane to me. None of them. Some insane things. Yeah, they're on Twitch, but YouTube is the much better video player. I don't know. It sucks then. We'll see. It's just, there's a lot of issues with the game, with HGC, with BlizzCon, whatever. And it's up to Blizzard to make fixes, make improvements. So we'll see next year. I mean, that's it for the analysis. That's it for that stuff. Made my predictions. If you want to watch VODs, because there's way more time, you can go to my VODs. Watch day 1, 2, 3 analysis. Games that I would recommend. Dig Leftovers was decent. Dig versus Tempest was good, at least from the Dig side. Nothing really that insane though. Go over a few heroes later stream and share a few ideas to make non-viable heroes playable. Tempo Storm win every West series? Pretty sure, yeah. I think they might have had some losses to other West teams, but every West series against a Central team, they won, I believe. Yeah, I would like to see more proof than this. Whether that's from other people that live with Fan, because they do basically have a team house there, or in that area. And then I would also like to see this on Tournament Realm, rather than on live servers, because Tournament Realm has a better server quality. And I mean, maybe it's true. Maybe they do get awful ping to Central as well. And at that point, Blizzard just needs to do something. Because it's just silly. Because you can see the evidence that it does make a difference. So I mean, that's it for analysis. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter. I tweet when I start the stream. We'll be doing analysis when BlizzCon actually starts, which is next weekend. Probably 8 PM EST I'll start. What team did I play for? Currently, I play for Octalysis, or at least for the most recent split. Any amazing LoL play? Not really. It was actually just 2 3-0 stomps, where the better team just outplayed mechanically and won. Nothing too insane. The finals will probably be interesting, because the teams might be equally matched. I mean, the fan's argument is that he gets just as bad ping to Central. And if that's true, then that's a fair argument. I'm not confident that that's true. And even if that is true as well, 15 MS to West, whereas people connecting to Central also have bad ping, so it's still an advantage. So, I don't like it. Want improvements to happen, but we'll see if those happen. So I'll see you guys next weekend. I mean, I might stream Hero League or something throughout the week, if you want to watch me be salty about Hero League quality and the game being bad, or if you want to watch me play Mephisto, because I think I'm better at Mephisto than the players playing it at BlizzCon. So, see you guys whenever I end up streaming again. Might be tomorrow, might be sometime later in the week. Definitely will be streaming this weekend, next weekend. They all stream, it'll be in their VODs. Yeah, but it's not, the big deal is not your ping on live servers, these servers here. The big deal is on tournament servers. Because that's where HGC is played. And there is a difference between the two. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Another day.